So, we didn't take a rest or
I
anything.
think we're live. We're here.
What?
It's alive.
Some slight technical problems before going live here, but we're here. We're alive.
Yay, Shadow
hello.
Reels! Your color
Hello.
is blue. I'm so happy for you. I know that's
So-
your favorite.
I'm going to have the players kick us off with our announcements, our call-outs. I've got to go close something on the computer. Is the computer's being silly? Welcome to our Season 3 episode where we should have had tech issues out of the way, but whatever. Players, talk about our wonderful things we do and the people we work with here. I'll be right back.
Well, first and foremost,
We play D&D.
we play D&D. That's
We
what
play
do.
D&D.
We play Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. We're excited to have you all here with us today. We have some amazing sponsors where I believe you will see them on the screen right now. Maybe, if not, they're going to be up there
Right
in a little bit.
above.
Yep. Yeah, we've got Austin there. He's showing you the Blacksmith Craft dice. That's the nice tin that you get when you order some Blacksmith Craft dice.
What about this? Who made this?
Oh,
What is this beauty?
That's Critical Treasures right there. That's a lovely Critical Treasures bag. That holds about, what, like 100 dice? More?
Maybe more. It's
I guess
basically a dice bag of holding.
Yeah, we have to get at least 1,000 dice, at least to test it. Austin's showing off the beautiful Blacksmith Craft dice. Some of their newer sets come with 3 D6s, making sure that you can do all that beautiful damage right there. What else? Oh, Lindsay's holding up Caffeinated Kobold. That's right, Caffeinated Kobold. That keeps us going, right? For those late night DM sessions where you're either preparing or you're hosting and you were up late the night before.
Or you're watching a show from the UK and they're in LA and you
Yeah.
need a...
You just need a little boost.
It's like middle of the night.
Something.
Or your campaign's full of goblins.
Mhm.
So drink a lot of that before that campaign.
You just
DMs.
need a little bit of twitching.
Yeah.
Yeah. Check out Caffeinated Kobold. They got a whole bunch of different, what is it? Are they called brews? What is the difference in coffee called? It's not taste.
The
They're
different
different roasts.
Roast.
That's what it's called. Because it's not
Yeah.
flavor.
Uh-oh, guys.
Well,
we've
it
been-
is. The roast
so
affects
wrong.
the flavor.
What are
What?
we even doing?
Shadow Reels has been subbed for 7 months and she thought we were playing Call of Duty the whole time.
Oh.
Well, that's on her.
Yeah, I don't think that's right.
That's on her.
Love
There we
you,
go.
Shadow.
But we do want to know what kind of cocktail you make before watching us.
Yeah.
That's good. That's
I
a strong
want-
stuff.
So also another thing to note is our tip structure, donation structure. I'm not the best at this. We have $5, $10, and what is it, 20?
Yeah.
Perfect. $5, you get a scroll drawn. It's a random effect applied to the game instantly.
Mm-hmm.
At $10, you
Get a reroll.
that you get to
Good roll.
assign to any of the lovelies on the screen.
Including me.
And then at 20, your $20 donation generates a random creature.
approaches.
Whether they're good, bad, otherwise we don't know.
A herd of unicorns. Actually, if chat could look up what a herd of unicorns is actually called, that would be great.
And then, well, it would be a herd, right? Because horses
It's
are
a
in
gaggle.
herds.
It's a gaggle.
So then, below the DM, below the Instagrams, you'll see this green bar. That's the hype boss. So tips, bits, subs, follows, everything you do takes that hype boss down. And when there's a new hype boss, if that's you, you get to assign a nat 20 to the player of your choice.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's all of them, right? That's all.
And
Yeah.
if you like what
It's a
you
blessing.
see, you can always find our merch as well on the store.
Which leads me to something else that's interesting this week, right? We're announcing a giveaway. Yeah? 2, actually.
What?
2.
2 giveaways. And in each one, the winner gets to choose the shirt of their choice, the shirt design. So you get to pick the shirt design. I think they're all represented, not Nathan's. That one's unfortunately not for sale. That one is part of,
You can
that
get
was
my
part of our
barcode.
Indiegogo. But we have Ari's Fight Like a Girl. We have Rumiel's Find the Druid. We have Alex wearing our Here Be Dragons logo shirt. And then we have the Valari Wild Magic Unicorn.
And Garth,
we have
And Garth does have a shirt. It's a
Make your own-
blue that says Make Your Own Luck. It's really cool. But you can find all of those on our merch page, like Nathan said.
yeah.
Also, we did get an answer, Mr. DM. Apparently, according to Hey Camster, it is an oasis of
Ooh,
unicorns.
I like that.
Oh.
I found the
Two
druid
answers.
says it's a blessing.
I've heard the blessing,
Blessing.
but an oasis
May
is
you be
interesting.
No,
too.
the
Blessed
blessing
with
makes
an
more
oasis.
sense.
I feel like blessing. I mean, I might be biased because they found the druid, but you know, I feel like the blessing makes more sense.
The blessing makes more sense. Sassy Queen, thanks for subbing.
Sassy Queen just subbed. The cadence
Yes!
is 30 points away from being knocked out, and the person who takes that gets to assign a nat 20. But to finish out on
the
the
giveaway.
giveaways, there's going to be
Yes.
one announced on Instagram. That will require a follow, a like, and some commenting of your friends in, just like any standard Instagram giveaway will happen. That should go live in the next couple days. The giveaway will end, and it will be available to hear who the winner is in 2 weeks. We will be doing a show in 2 weeks. It won't be our main campaign, but we will have a nice little one-off of sorts. And that is when we will announce the Instagram giveaway. At
Shadow
which point,
Reels, we're gonna look into that. I want to say we're
yes.
not gonna be exclusive. It's gonna be open worldwide. I guess it will depend on some of the shipping regulations. It may take longer to get it, but we're gonna honor that. So
we know that we have fans all over the globe, and because of the internet, it is awesome. And because of the internet, we should be able to ship you something. The company we've partnered with should have ways to print and ship it elsewhere in the world. So if you're elsewhere, we're going to try to make sure that gets to you. And then the final giveaway that we need to announce is on the first weekend of June.
June 6th
June 6th is our final episode
of the season.
for this season. Before we go into some like one-shots and various things for a little while as we prep for the next season, that's when we will be giving away a shirt live on stream. So whoever hops into the stream and interacts with our giveaway bot will be available to win. You don't have to be present when you win because...
Or present for the whole stream or anything like that, but...
We know everyone's schedules are a little off at times. You have to go to bed, you're just getting up, you decide you need to go mow the lawn at 2 a.m., whatever it may be. We want to make sure that
Little
if you're...
late for trimming the verge.
If you're mowing the lawn at 2 a.m., you can still win. So there's multiple chances.
I mean, it feels like it would be a good time for the grass to mow it, because you're supposed to, like, trim your plants and stuff before dawn. I just don't think your neighbors would love it.
Yeah.
Unless you're in a nocturnal society.
Or if you move to
Or-
LA and don't have a lawn.
Or when we had a yard, we had like a push reel mower. Like it didn't have a motor. And that worked really well
Yeah,
till our
hook it up.
grass got like 10 inches tall. But
We digress.
yeah.
So about
perfect.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Dragons.
We'll get to that in about 4 hours. Our stream is about 3 hours long. We'll get to Dungeons and Dragons at about the 4th hour. Yeah. So, I think we're ready for Dungeons and Dragons. We covered
Wait.
sponsorship.
What's Dungeons and Dragons?
You mean Call of Duty?
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. Yes.
Clink.
Oh, okay. I get it now.
Boom. All right. Game over. Austin is dead.
Hashtag not
Respawn in 5, 4, 3, 2. And we're back. So, Call of Duty. I mean, Dungeons and Dragons. We were last found outside of the city of Standing Rock and camping for the evening after the party had defeated what we hoped was the last time we'd see this Dragon King.
Dragon
Oh.
King, Dragon
Fingers
King.
crossed.
We
Well.
just beat Dragon King.
Well, did we though?
But you sang that song once before. Now he's coming back for more. And you're
Good
waking
job.
up to a bit of bustling in the camp. Dragland, however, is awake and has already had his sword fighting drills with a couple of the kobolds and goblins who were in the camp. And the camp is starting to get packed up, as it was only a temporary for the evening. One of the goblins walks over to the tent. Sleepyheads, we've got some food for you all. It's not the best of sorts, but it's some eggs and some meats and some greens cooked up, but it's not what you'd get in town, I'm sorry. But, if you want to come out here, I've got some plates ready for you. And he hustles away from the tent you were staying in.
I'm having a whimsy moment. Not a Valerian moment. Can you remind me, was that a nap or was that like...
It was bed.
It's overnight?
It was an overnight. You guys had a long rest.
Okay, thanks.
Because there's some trouble ahead.
You're going to need it.
You're going to need it.
Alright.
I'm all over the breakfast. I would like to know if they have Java juice.
Java juice? Anybody have Java juice?
I thought you said Jamba and I got really interested.
Java juice? A kobold comes walking up and he's holding onto one little vial and he looks at it. He goes, it's my last one, but you can have it for saving us. All you.
I can't take your last Java. It's fine.
I can get some from the town over there. We're heading that way later.
Okay.
Twist my arm.
Are you ready, guys? Adventure? Who wants to go adventure? What are we gonna kill? Who are we gonna fight? What's going on?
Why do we let her drink this
The
stuff?
kobold backs away very quickly, and then you see him dash away and just sprint, dust coming up from behind him as he's just worried about what's happening.
I have your vial.
Keep it!
Okay. Add that to my pack.
Could come in handy.
Could.
Yeah, Garth's getting some breakfast, and just to make sure, he's gonna cast prestidigitation on it so that it tastes like the best eggs. Oh, do you have your pan?
You could have
a really good
my
breakfast.
pan.
A really good breakfast that she recalls.
She could have a really good breakfast.
Yeah.
Right? Use prestidigitation, and you will have a really good breakfast as well.
Love it. I'll get my pan out. Why not? I'll share too.
Did they give food to Astra?
Yeah, Astro was actually up a little bit before you, hearing the commotion. He's outside gnawing on what looks like a piece of a bone from some of the meat that was cooked up.
Cool.
Anything else?
I'm just gonna gratefully eat whatever I was given, I guess.
There you go.
After I eat, I'm gonna take some of that stuff that I bought from the merchant, and I'm gonna put it on my longsword, oil and care for it.
All right, so you have a +1 for the day on that.
Lovely.
All right. Anything else you players would like to do is you can sit down at a crude-looking table, a few metal bent-up plates, have some food on it for you, and you're having breakfast.
Perfect. Now, if I remember correctly, there was something about a well that we needed to go find. Does anybody have any sort of information on that?
I thought that Dragonborn had the information. He was the one telling us about it.
As you're speaking of it, a passerby of the goblins packing up kind of looks over. Zach, we need you over here. They're looking for you for information. And he keeps walking off. Thank you, Anonymous, for your incredible tip here. We are getting 6 magic scrolls.
6?
And Anonymous now is in the lead with 4,720
so they get to assign a
points.
nat 20.
So Anonymous, sorry, you're gonna not be Anonymous. Please assign a nat 20. If you wish, you can chat it to the Here Be Dragons account. And I will make sure that gets seen. So if you want to, yeah, go ahead.
Guys, that's like most of our
6, you
things.
said?
6 is what they put with the message.
Bowls.
Holy
4,
cow.
5. I have big hands and this is a lot. I have freakishly large hands.
Good.
It's the one thing we've all said about you.
I mean, it's not a secret.
I've never thought that in my life.
Our anonymous tipper, I will keep your name incredibly quiet. No one else here will know. I have the only access to the account, and I will just pretend like I don't even read your name. Please let us know who you want the Nat 20 to go to. That means whenever they roll a 20, they'll be able to get a free Nat 20. They can say, this roll is going to be 20. Right now, Lindsay is drawing the 6 scrolls that you have put into the game as Zet is making his way over and you guys are eating your breakfast.
Do you want to grab, like, the dice, and then I will, like, read it, and
Oh,
then you
because
can
these are
assign
randomly
them?
assigned.
Yep.
Yeah. And then we can just do it that way?
All right.
Okay.
Like Christmas.
So, Deity of Protection, +5 to AC for 1 round of combat.
That goes to Valari.
For me?
Nice.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. A +5 to my AC is huge.
For 1 round.
Yeah.
For 1 round.
The next one was Deity of Nature, so 3 good berries sprout nearby.
All right, that springs up next to the table. So whoever grasps at those 3 good berries, or each of you can grab at a good berry and take one.
Good job, I mean.
Java Man, do not apologize.
This is amazing.
Java Man, you do get
Apologize for that.
You get to tell us which player gets that Nat 20, because that also triggered too, as you took over as the hype boss. To Garth. Garth, you get that Nat 20.
Yay!
So, what about the good berries?
Well,
They sprouted,
20.
right?
They sprouted. So which 3 players have grabbed a good berry?
Or one person grabbed all 3, I don't know.
I'll grab one.
Drackland grabbed one.
It's like mine.
Ari has grabbed one.
Yeah, I'll grab one.
All right,
Go
Garth
for it.
has grabbed one. Cool. You each have a good berry. They last for 24 hours. Remember that.
Yay.
Perfect.
Deity of Tempest.
Okay.
A storm
Oh.
brews over the next battle, causing difficult terrain.
All right.
That one's for him. I'm excited for that, actually. That's kind of fun. Deity of Luck. The player with this one will gain immediate advantage.
Wow.
I'm assuming your next roll.
It goes to Ari.
Yeah.
Yep. Next time you would roll, you get advantage.
I don't know how you're gonna keep track of that. That's for Ari.
I've got Ari here.
She's writing it down too.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Deity of Life. 5 temporary hit points.
All right.
Okay.
Hey,
And
look
that goes to Rumil.
It's like Christmas.
I know.
Really
I
is.
feel like Santa Claus right now.
The Java Man is Santa Claus right now for us.
Deity of Trickery. The
Okay.
player gains immediate disadvantage.
I am rolling this one here. That actually goes to Garth. So you've got disadvantage, but you've got that Nat 20
And
when
a good
you're out
berry.
of here. Yeah. You got some bonuses. All right.
Good deal.
Now, you watch that good berries,
worth it for the
that
fun.
little branch of good berries sprout up in front of you so slowly, and you felt an overwhelming sense of excitement as the battles and day ahead
Just feel
grant you
good.
some gifts.
What a lucky day, guys.
Zet finally makes his way over and looks around. Huh,
Feel more healthy than usual.
a good berry bush. When did, well, the lucky
Just
few who had grabbed it, I'm glad they have. I heard you need some information.
Yes, you said something about a well.
Oh, yes, the well. This is not an easy task ahead, nor is any task in D&D. But I don't know where that thought came from.
D&D?
Oh, it's like this strange battle game these kids play these days.
Oh,
but
okay.
Kids
What-
these days, I swear.
what you need to know is that there is a forest up ahead. The forest is known as the Wandering Wood. This forest, while it looks small in size, takes and takes. Those who enter may have trouble returning, and those who return may have trouble mentally afterwards, as things will be seen, and, yes, I've lost a few parties recently in there, as they were looking for the source of great power, and there's also a source of great destruction.
Responsibility.
Not responsibility.
Well, I mean,
It was
great
something my
power.
grandpa used to say about great power. Never mind.
I see you've been drinking the Java already. Well,
What?
there is a well called the Well of Souls that you must make it to. This well should destroy the Dragon King's essence.
Should?
That is your 8 bars.
And if we suddenly go blank tonight, that's because we were reported and Disney took us down.
It's Universal, isn't it?
Oh, it's
No,
Universal
Disney
for that
now.
one. Disney.
Oh, really?
Disney.
Disney owns everything.
They've owned that for a long time.
Whoever Disney is and whatever they own in this land.
Yes, of course.
Lord Disney, he's got a very fancy castle. A couple of them, I think.
More than a couple.
From mice,
More
yes?
than a couple castles. I must meet this Lord Disney.
Like, what, 5
But-
now?
Yeah.
But of course.
But the well that you seek is where destruction should be had with what's in that vial of yours.
Ah, of course, that makes sense.
Who's currently carrying the vial?
I believe Garth is.
You notice that the vial looks iced over, but it's hot to the touch.
That's very confusing.
Curious, strange file.
Hmm.
Icy hot. That's what I'll call it. Great for sore muscles.
Icy hot.
I just kind of rub it on this spot on my arm that's like been really just knotted up, and boom, great. Let's go.
What does it smell like?
I'm not playing this game.
You're right. It's Call of Duty.
It's Call of Duty. I'm sitting here thinking about my kill streak and what I'm gonna call in next. As Zet is telling you these things, you see him kind of watching the goblins pack up the tents and directing and pointing. And he looks around. I wish I could be of more service, but there are great needs that we must attend to. Just to the south of here. I expect you're equipped.
Yeah, I think we have the weapons and such that we need. Quick question: Is it like a pour the vial into the well, drop the vial into the well, pull up a bucket of water from the well, and just dunk it real quick? What? Do you have an idea about that?
I can't say. I've not been there myself. And those who have, like I said, they come back a little bit, broken.
Yes.
Well, I'm not.
Well, all right. Nothing like that pep talk. Let's go, guys.
Your good day that started off with good berries now took a weird turn.
Yes.
Right?
Welcome to the good
I-
day, home
I
of the
can't
good
think of a
berries.
single thing that Dragonborn just said that makes me feel cheerful or
Well, it's
positive
enough
towards
I'm
it.
intrigued.
The walk to the wood.
Intrigued?
The walk to the wood
Intrigued?
is quite nice.
No.
The druid
Man.
pun, if I ever heard one.
Rocks
No.
fall, druid dies. All right, keep going. No. He points off to the north of where you're at, and you see some
Okay.
woods about a mile or two out.
Perfect.
And he looks across you lot. The walk to the woods is quite nice, but otherwise, I would agree with you, sir.
The woods are just trees.
Nope.
Trees are
Just
woods.
wood.
I wish
I don't
I
know
don't
that.
to go to the festival.
into the woods.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
we're-
Okay. Well, we should probably finish our breakfast.
Did we not tell our DM that this is our musical episode?
Clearly.
Oh,
one?
I
Why
could have
can't
gotten I could have gotten all the tracks ready for
Lauren,
you guys.
I
Come
think
on.
he got
Ah.
complacent because we just haven't sang that much in a while.
Yeah. You know, the best way to spread Christmas cheer.
It's not
Well, it's
Christmas.
not
See,
Christmas.
It is Christmas. We got so many gifts.
Does it matter? Does it have to be Christmas to spread Christmas cheer?
Let's
I'm gonna go get some snacks. Please let me know when you guys are ready to play. I'll be right back.
I'm sorry.
Also,
Oh, okay.
hide crossbones.
Crossbones, Shadow Reels, Java Man, thank you all for tuning
Really
in.
fun.
Thank you
Yep.
for joining, sharing. Sassy Queen, all of those here.
I found the druid.
I found the druid, yes.
They were here before.
Yes. They were here before.
All right, so shall we begin our slightly dark and dreary trek towards the woods?
What could
Well-
go wrong?
That's what I always say.
You know, it would be good to get started early. It does seem like this.
Be good.
You people.
I'm with you, right?
Dragon just starts walking towards the north.
Let's go.
I
Yeah.
skip after him.
It's a good thing we don't play like the mental part of this game because
What all of you failed to realize is there were a couple goblins walking past with a large beam strung above their heads. They didn't notice you, and you all get knocked upside the head. I rolled perception, and the highest in your numbers was 5.
And I thought my passive was 14.
You're a little
Take 20 points of damage.
yes, thank you. Perfect. I will let you co-DM if you do those things for me. No. You all get kind of bumped into and jarred from your daydreams of musicals and theater. And
Oh yeah.
you see the Dragonborn kind of pointing and giving you a side eye, like, "What's going on?" Are you mentally sound enough to enter the woods today?
No.
Not. Where are we
But
going to anyway?
anything that's perfect, because the woods are going to break us anyway. So if we go in broken, maybe we'll come back whole.
Do you have a
you
point?
can't break what's already broken.
All right.
If it's
Well,
not Baroque, don't fix it.
I must attend to a few things. Enjoy your breakfast. And he too kind of steps back a little bit and walks away, shaking his head.
It's moments like these that remind me why we shouldn't be in charge.
Of the kingdom? Oh, yeah, for sure.
the kings and queens having a royal breakfast and woo.
We need to get moving.
Yes.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.
We should not let her have any more of that drink. I think
That's what I've been saying for weeks, you
But
guys.
this bout of it, I think, was something extra strong.
Well, it was
Seriously.
caffeinated by that kobold, so
Ah,
Must be the new
that
bean
drink
holder's
was a-
brew.
a critical treasure.
Man.
It's like a blacksmith.
in response to Shadow Reel's question, I think it's margaritas.
What?
IRL, yes. In show, it's Java.
Mm.
Yeah.
Are we
So
moving
I
to the
take
forest
that whatever
yet?
way you want.
So
I think Drax is already there.
I'm already there.
Yeah.
Drackland and Rumiel are hustling to it.
You can be both free for it.
Where is everybody? Oh, okay. I
I-
guess I'm alone.
Hey, push.
I was gonna say,
coming,
once,
Let's go.
once we get there, I do want to take a few moments. I'm going to try to do a ritual before we get into the forest. I'm going to cast.
Should we
what?
check that we get to the forest okay?
Sure.
He said it was
The-
getting to the forest was fine.
The clear walk to the forest is very, very pleasant. There's a light breeze coming across the plain. It's open in both directions, some tall grass in the fields, a couple bovine grays off to one side. You do see a large elk-like creature bound off in the distance. It's quite peaceful out here. The walk to the forest allows you to have about half hour of time for you lot to discuss amongst yourselves, cast anything that you wish. This is a moment that you players, or you as the party, get to prepare.
Kind of just play with.
Yep. You get to prepare.
I want to use a ritual to cast Speak with Animals.
Okay.
That'll last for. Well, I was gonna do it once we get there because it only lasts for 10 minutes. So I want to get there, cast it, and then I'll be looking for an animal to talk to. So that'll be my stuff. If everyone else wants to do anything else, I'll leave that open.
Are there wildflowers?
There are a few here and there. There's purple, yellow, and orange wildflowers that you get to see.
Fantastic. I would like 2 of each color that I will pick as we walk.
All right. You may have 2 of each color. If you do need to note those, you may. If not, have fun with those.
Great.
As we're walking, I'll kind of sidle up next to Ari at one point and be like, "So, I've been thinking about this idea of confusing our enemies. Tell me what you think." And I'll cast Mask of Many Faces on myself to make myself look like Ari. And then I'll like smile, just like right after she had the shot of coffee. I'll just be like, how do I look?
Is that what I look like?
Ooh, oops. Oh, no, of course not. I'll like take it away immediately. Like, of course not. Never mind. And I'll just start walking away.
I think it's brilliant. I like it. I've always wanted a sister.
Yeah, I messed up the smile. That's not what you look like. That's not what you look like. I messed it up. That is exactly what she looks like. I'm just trying to
It is
save
exact.
face.
No, that's really quite clever.
And then I'll turn into Rumiel. Oh, is it? Is it?
I'm probably still like concentrating. He's just walking next to me as me. I'm just like, ugh.
What did I drink?
Oh no, what have I done to the group?
Meanwhile, I am tying the flowers into a flower chain,
I knew
Alright.
you were gonna do that.
and then I will tie it off and put it on my head.
There you go.
I figure if we're going to be royalty, I should start to practice. And I wave to the birds.
Yeah, she's lost it. That Java Juice was, wow. That must have been the special Java Juice. Anything else that you would like
It's
to
the
do as you
lower
approach?
city Java.
Valari, Astro, Garth.
I'm just here.
I turn to Draklin. Be Valari! Be Valari!
Oh, sure. No problem. I'll turn it into Valari real quick.
Garth moves 30 feet away.
I'll Eldritch Blast right next to Garth's face. Just like over his head. Obviously over his head.
Garth is just like running towards the woods.
And the party speeds up. It's a
This has
24
gotten
minute
out of
walk.
hand. I apologize. And I'll drop the Valari look.
This is amazing.
All right. Now that you've had your fun, you are about 100 feet from what appears to be the entrance of the forest. And as you're making your way up, you see a human male come walking out in very tattered leather armor, and he kind of drops to his knees and looks around and starts grabbing handfuls of grass and ripping it up and throwing it in like kind of celebration almost. And you hear him let out a big sigh and start bawling and fall face first into the grass.
Run up to him
Are
and
you all right?
He kind of sits up and tears are running down his face. He's got some grass kind of stuck to it. I think I've made it. Am I out of the forest?
you
Yes.
are indeed, sir.
I was in there for a day? A week? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. The forest is a magical and wonderful, weird place. Oh, I had friends. Friends were with me at one point. Do I have friends?
Sir, you are quite alone.
Oh, well, my friends, they must be somewhere in the forest still. But I'm here. I'm out.
We're going in the forest. Any pointers?
Oh, the forest isn't your friend, but it wants to be, and, let it? Don't let it. No. Oh, I don't know. The forest, it changes. It's different. You might see some things, you might not.
So what you're saying is the cake is a lie.
The cake? There's cake? Where's the cake? I want cake. It's been a while since I've eaten. Do you guys happen to have Any food on you by chance?
I give him some rations. I was already marking it off my sheet.
You got the good berry, man.
He can have ration. Like he needs a full. Like he needs.
He can
No,
have
but I
good
mean, like he needs real. Like
No, that's a day's meal and health. Like
Some
that's
king.
Yeah, but we're going into the forest. He made it.
He takes the rations and begins digging into them. Oh, this is good. Oh, man.
Well, sir, there's a camp that's packing up. It's about a mile if you continue this direction. We have business in the woods, but you've made it out thus far. If you continue on this path, you will find men who can take care of you.
Okay.
We can keep an eye out for your friends. How many were you traveling with?
I think 2, 3. Oh, it's so hard. The forest is. I don't know. The forest plays tricks. That's the only thing. I think there were 3 of us.
What's your name? If we find them, we can tell them that we saw you and you made it.
My name, Feldar's what they've called me.
Okay, Feldar.
What town is near?
Standing Rock.
Okay. I can't say I've heard of that. I can't say I know which town I was supposed to get to. I think I'm just gonna lay here and eat my food for a few minutes. You said there's a group of warriors that way?
Yeah, precisely.
I'm going to kind of point him in the direction and say, well, take a breath.
Uh-huh.
Breathe some good air now that you are out of the forest, and the direction that you are going, that you are facing, that is where you will find the camp.
Oh, okay. Well, good luck in whatever you try to find in there, whether it's treasure or something else. Good luck.
Thanks.
And he kind of just starts picking at the food and sighs a big sigh and just continues to look around in confusion as he doesn't seem to know where he's fully at.
Should we, like, all hold on to a rope? Are we going to lose each other in there?
Which isn't a bad idea.
I agree.
It's not a bad idea.
Okay.
I start unspooling my rope. Here we go.
Anyone want to volunteer to lead? I mean, I'm happy to do it, but maybe, yeah, Druid.
Oh, no, I'm more than happy to.
I'll be behind you.
For once, actually feeling at home.
In Crazy Town?
You have no idea.
No, I do.
Okay, I was gonna say. I think. Let's go.
So I'll get in line.
I have
on
no
the
idea.
wheel.
Yeah, you might be a little out of place here.
Watch
My
out.
only concern, you guys, is like we're tying each other together.
We're holding. We're not tying.
Oh, I thought we were tying around the
I
waist.
heard tying.
My understanding is just gripping.
Okay, because I
Draken
was
unties
like, I
himself.
really just don't think it's a good idea.
So that young man, I'll just point out that if he had been holding a rope with his friends, he would have let go of the rope because he thought it was fun. Did anybody else experience what I just experienced? He's mad.
Yeah, he was pretty mad.
So I think we should all loop it around our waists.
But the
Be tied
problem with
together.
that is if something happens to one, we're pretty much all being taken down.
It could be like
It's true.
instead of tying it, it's just like around us. Do you understand what I'm saying?
So
Take
you
the
would like
rope,
duck out of
That's
it.
fair.
you-
That's fair.
I
Oh,
was
that's
thinking just
not
cutting
enough.
it, but
Yeah, you could also just
You
cut
could also
it.
cut
I've
it.
got a dagger.
I have a healing rope.
Yeah, for what?
Assuming you have time to
Let's
do
use the
that.
normal rope.
It heals itself. If you cut it, it heals.
I know, but it's just
Okay.
Oh,
I'll probably,
fantastic. Let's use that.
if we're really gonna do this, I'm just gonna hold it.
Okay. So
All right.
who's fastened? Who's holding?
It is looped around me so I could easily shimmy out.
me too. Oh wait,
Okay.
maybe I'll just hold it because everyone else is height. No,
But
Go.
the thing, okay. I just have thought through something. Like
we
if
also
this-
could just not do the rope if people are not wanting to.
I'm not sure that that's completely wise, given the
The looping is more dangerous than the tying because now there's a loose rope around your waist, and if something happens at two ends,
Sliced in
you're
half.
not shimmying out of the rope.
Yes, but I feel like the rope would almost launch you in just a comical way, and you would land on your face.
I will hold it. I am holding it in my hand. My sword is in my other hand. My shield is attached to my arm.
Fair.
That's all I gotta say about that.
Fine, I'll just hold the rope.
I mean, do what you want. I'm just saying, like, these are some things that should probably be accounted for.
Also, we should say, hello, Penguin Witch Doctor.
Hello, Penguin.
Hello,
Witch.
Penguin Witch Doctor.
Great. Okay, let the madness commence.
Who's the Penguin Witch? Whatever. I will probably tie the rope around my waist to leave both of my hands free if I'm in the lead.
All right.
So wait, so you're tied?
Rumiel's in the lead in tying.
Actually, I will, but first of all, I'm going to, since I still have probably don't have much time left, but my Speak with Animals is still active.
Yep.
I'm going to look around for any sort of wildlife.
I tuck Astro behind. No, I'm just kidding.
Astro's not going to know anything, so...
In front of you, you do see in the edges of the forest, it looks like there may have been a deer or a wolf that had passed through as some of the brush had been pushed apart. It looks like a heavily traveled spot for wildlife, but you don't see anything immediately, so you would most likely assume there's something just inside.
Okay. Then I will call out, using my Speak with Animals,
Yep.
Inhabitants of the forest, come to our aid. We require your help.
A moment goes by, and a ram comes walking out and looks around.
I'm going to kind of bow as a matter of respect to this beast because he's herd of bunnies. That's amazing.
As you bow, it rams into you.
I'll ram you.
It drops one knee as well, seeing that you're the source, and stands up.
Mm-hmm.
What is it that you need?
We are looking for a well that could be magical. Do you know where we might find such a thing in this great forest?
But you travel into this forest willingly. No, I would not. This forest does weird things to the humans that come through.
Well, good thing I'm not a human.
Well, but if you seek this well, I hear there's one deep in the center of the forest. But I don't go very deep as I get wary of the monsters within.
Do you know any creature which would have the soul and spirit to take a trek into the heart of the forest?
A creature that goes into the forest. Oh, must be one of the ones that lives in the forest. One that's tainted by the forest. Because most of the creatures that you would know, Druid, are only about 50 to 100 feet into here before it gets spooky.
He's waiting.
You've been waiting for that.
Gosh.
Well, thank you for your help, good Ram. And if you would be so kind as to either guide us as far as you will, or to point us in a direction, need has driven us into this forest, and we must carry on. Any further assistance that you may give is certainly welcome.
But if you follow me this way, I'll show you the path to go. And he cautiously walks down the path that looks like it's been trodden by the humans, the one that you saw the man come out of. And he looks around back and forth as he walks through and noses at some brush here and there as if he's checking for things. And he stops about 50 feet down this path, and you see at that point in the path where it was more
I'm
worn.
signaling them to follow.
Yeah.
I follow.
Yeah.
All on the same rope.
Where the ram stops, it seems like the path forward has been trodden on by the humanoids more. There's less paw and hoof prints than you'd seen on the path before, and this is where the ram stops and looks up at you and says, "This is the way that you must travel." Bah. Bah, 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 bah,
I was gonna say,
and he hops off. The whole time, all of you have been hearing basically that.
Yeah.
And Rumil sounding like a complete nutso talking to this ram.
Rumil, a bummer that your speak with animals spell didn't work that time.
On the contrary, we need to follow this path. So the ram said.
You were
Unfortunately,
talking to it?
well, yes, naturally.
Oh, we thought you were just making ram noises.
But I was
I haven't
making
seen that before.
It's a bit of a skill that I have.
It's quite clever.
It comes in handy when you're in the forest, which I haven't been for a while. But it does appear that the way that we are going is rather treacherous. Most of the animals will not go near the heart of the forest. I inquired as to if there would be anyone willing to guide us, and there wasn't much of a response there. So he has pointed us to this path. This is as close as I think we can get, and I don't know that we will have much help from any of the other creatures. On the contrary, it does seem like creatures who are, he said, the ones who go to the heart of the forest are the ones tainted by the forest. Ergo, we must keep our wits about us.
No one in the forest is a friend.
Well, not yet.
At this point in the forest, you do notice that the lush greenery above that you'd walk through, letting some of the sunlight in, had gotten a bit more dense above. And to carry on forward, it's a bit darker path.
Of course.
It's not completely dark, but it is a lot less full of the greens and blues, as the sun beating down through the leaves can't make it through the thickness of the forest ahead.
Is visibility an issue?
Visibility is not an issue.
Okay.
There are some shadows here and there that are a little bit darker, but you can still see into them. Those with dark vision are able to see fairly normally into those shadows, as they're not super dark. It's just a bit more of that eye taking shape to the light changes.
So would you classify this as a dim, dark area?
Not
not
dim dark, but it is.
Dim or...
It is like the thick of a forest, where it is tough to get broad daylight, but I would
There's plenty
classify
of
on the edge of dim, I guess.
Sure.
No.
I was just curious if I needed to produce flame and
No, you can
give us a bit of a light source, but it doesn't sound like it.
Your visibility is quite strong through. You'll see little
Well, I wasn't thinking about
beams
me. I
of
was
lights
thinking
coming
about
through. Yeah,
the ones behind us.
I'm fine.
yeah.
Thank
Those
you.
those without dark vision can see fairly well through. There's just a
Okay.
couple pockets up against some trees,
Sure.
and little areas where it's a little darker, where the forest is thicker above.
Okay. Going into this section, I guess going through the forest and having a knowledge of Druidic, do I see any signs in the forest of either other people who may have left things, or do I get anything from the forest with that language knowledge in my mind?
You do notice. Penguin Witch Doctor was reading my notes that there's some vampire bunnies hanging from the trees.
What are they gonna do?
Yeah.
Nibble our bumps?
Yes. No. So what you do notice is
It's a book. It's
that
vampire funny, but whatever.
yeah, Bunnicula. It's a very good book.
Bunnicula!
Bunnicula is not here today. Sorry, Penguin
It's a
Witch
book?
Doctor. But what you do notice is that the foliage on the ground looks a little bit less grown as you'd expect it to be. It looks trampled and moved and pushed about, but not in any patterns, like something had walked through, almost as if
Right.
some larger thing came through and just push their hand through it. But you don't think of it as like some large creature messing it about. It just looks like the wear and the movement is irregular. There are spots where you might see like a slight path going in one direction and then another jagged path a different direction, almost as if the forest has moved on itself.
But the path in front of us, is that a continuous path, or does it kind of do this whole irregular start and stop thing?
It's some irregular start stopping. It is worn in bits that kind of lead in. You do notice at points that it branches, but there's bits and pieces that kind of hang into the path, so it doesn't look like it's a straight direction of where you need to go.
Okay. As I'm starting to move forward, I'll mention this to you, DM.
Everyone else plug their ears.
Oh no, I don't know that's him. I do have the Wanderer feature with an excellent memory for maps and geography.
Yep.
I don't know, like obviously it sounds like the Force is going to be tampering with that a bit.
Yep.
But just to be aware that as I'm moving through, I'll have a kind of a general knowledge, but if this Force starts shifting, obviously that's going to play havoc with memory and stuff. So,
perfect.
Yep. I've said my piece. Well, I don't know that we have much of a choice at this point. We rather need to move into this space in order to get rid of the Dragon King, but it's we need to be cautious, certainly.
I have my weapons ready.
All right. You carry on forward then.
Yeah.
Okay. As you carry on forward, you beat through the brush a little bit, and then you get back onto a little bit of the worn path. The path gets less and less beaten down and worn at certain areas, and you make it into a mild clearing, which looks like you have a direction forward and one a little off to your left and one off to your right. There's a couple beams of light that shine through around the area, but they don't illuminate much more than some worn spaces that are able to be walked through. I need everyone at this point, however, to roll perception, please.
It's a 20, right?
Yep, a d20, you roll your perception. I will take your roll or your natural.
Well, speaking of natural, I rolled a natural 20.
You rolled a natural 20.
Plus 1, so 21.
We got a 22, a 21,
15.
14.
I'm sorry.
14, 15,
12.
12. All right. Drakland, Ari, Valari, and not the doggo. Drakland, Ari, and Valari, you failed to notice that a large branch on a vine comes swinging down towards you. Rumiel and Garth, you do see this come falling out of a tree. And it does look to Rumiel as if it just kind of broke off and is swinging with some of the vines that had been attached to it. You do get about a second at most to react to this. So you two may do whatever you wish. The other three are facing a different direction.
Does it help that I can't be surprised? Okay.
I will say, if Rumiel decides to dodge, which I'm assuming he's going to try and move out of the way.
Yep.
Everyone is holding onto a rope that is attached to my waist.
Yep.
So I'm going to move out of the way.
You're going to move out of the way. You're moving out of the way. As you both move out of the way, I will let a re-roll happen for those of you who are holding onto the rope.
What kind of roll is this?
It's perception. We'll allow a perception to have a re-roll as you feel the pull.
Okay, 19.
19.
Oh, wait a second. My first roll was supposed to be at disadvantage.
Oh, yeah.
Roll
right.
again, see what happens.
So this is still first roll.
Yep, this is your
For
first roll.
him.
First roll, which was a 15,
Yep,
which would have garnered a this
a re-roll on this. So Rumiel is the only one that noticed.
Oh, but now an 18.
All right, that does pass. Dracula, what was your second one?
It was a 6. So I was like,
Six.
Rumiel, you're so weird.
Same.
Jumps out of the way.
Same.
As a few of you jump out of the way, I am going to have Drakland and Valari take 2 points of damage and get knocked over. It's bludgeoning damage. If you have anything that would lessen that, the tree branch comes swinging down and slams into you and kind of drops into the forest floor as it goes past. It's not incredibly huge, but enough to knock one off their feet.
That was weird.
I agree.
That hurt.
I'm gonna look around for trip wires or vines or something like that.
You don't seem to notice any trip wires. You do notice
Okay.
that there are some viney tendrils that go across the forest floor, but not as if they were attached to this event, but more as if like the forest
It's
has
just sensing.
just vines everywhere and feels
Right.
the presence of creatures within.
We must
Given
keep-
that,
I was just gonna say we must keep our wits about us.
of course. I'm going to kind of kneel, put a hand on some of the vines, looking for two things. One, if there is a magical well, it's possible that there's a spring water, like a river, where these might draw water from. So if I can like do a kind of a magic trace through the roots or something like that, but also trying to sense some of the intent of and just atmosphere of the woods.
Yeah, as you put your hand down on these vines and really try to mentally connect with it, you feel that this is almost as if it's a nervous system to the forest. These vines grow up onto the trees, and you, for a brief second, almost see a glint of all of the vines light up in your view to notice that it's not just a single vine structure, but the forest is connected all by these vines growing across the floor. You can't get much more information other than to understand that the forest is well aware of everything within it based on these vines.
Well, it would seem that the vines that you see, and I'll kind of gesture to the ones that are around, they seem to be some sort of connectivity around the forest. They know the forest knows that we're here, and these vines seem to be a way of them sending communications to different parts of the forest. There may be a way we may be able to kind of stunt them in certain ways. I know if we could possibly mold Earth over them, but that would make travel very, very slow. We might
What
be
if
able
you
to
just
kind of
tell them-
cover them with dirt, but I don't know that there's any way of masking our presence.
Friends?
My feelings from the forest, I'm guessing, I'll look to you, DM, was that it wasn't exactly looking for it. It seemed pretty self-contained, and I don't know that I can influence it a whole lot. Is that accurate?
Yeah,
Or not?
it seemed a bit more to understand that your presence is here,
Mhm.
but it didn't seem to attempt any form of communication back or forth.
Right. It was kind of, this is me, the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. It's kind of walling me out.
This is me.
Would it interpret the mold earth as like an aggression towards it?
Don't want to do that.
Well, my only thought was if not necessarily excavating, a lot of land, a lot of dirt, but just merely trying to cover up and muffle our steps a bit. But again, that would make passage. I mean, you and I could together maybe do.
I
10
don't like
feet
it.
every few seconds. So
How is it? Do we know how does it sense and know our presence? Do we know that?
it seems as if these vines. I don't know for certain whether it can sense the air or just through.
Because if it's through
tactile.
I say if it's through the vibrations, then there's like of our
Then there's
sense, there's
nothing we
nothing we
can
can do.
No,
And I
not particularly.
Ramil, could you send B1RD up and have it scout out these 3 paths, and we can at least figure out.
Oh, there's 3 paths? I thought there were 2.
There's roughly 3 paths ahead of you, one straight and one on either side.
I fear the forest may not appreciate him, but it does seem to be kind of our best chance at this point because we don't really have a way of telling. So
Either that, or we could just boldly go where no one has been before. If we just want to, go for a walk and pick a path. What?
I feel
Oh, go.
I just feel like based on past experiences, it doesn't necessarily matter which path we're gonna pick, because it seems like this forest
Is going to choose
change that.
That's true.
And so the path that we choose that looks like the right one may not be the right one later. So I feel like it's kind of just an arbitrary, we're going to go this way.
AKA, she's read my notes and said the DM's going to lead you. No.
Well, no, I mean, that's a good point. If the forest can change, then it really doesn't matter which path we choose.
We don't have any evidence that the forest can change, though.
Well, I'm thinking back to, I know, Jacqueline, you weren't there for this, but we've encountered houses that only can be accessed on certain nights, and then, like, there's, like, extra rooms sometimes, and sometimes there's not, so...
I'm being triggered.
What?
That was a bad
Ari
yeah.
goes slate white.
So... I mean, if this is anything like the wood that house was made of, or anything even similar.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, just drawing from past experience is what I'm doing, because I don't know.
I vote we go right. That way we know that it's the right way.
Okay, what was the problem with sending the bird up?
Nothing yet. I'm going to actually try something. I'm going to call B1RD and just kind of see what his reaction is.
B1RD, who is...
Because he can fit in my pocket.
Yeah,
so
he's
he
collapsed.
can be outward.
Yep, he's collapsed into your pocket, and you lift him out, and he unfolds into the bird structure, and looks up at you and chirps, and then looks around.
His morning flame bath.
There you go. He takes his morning flame bath for a moment, and then he looks around and looks at you with a chirp, as if to ask, what is it that you wish?
Mm-hmm.
While he does that, it, like, gave me an idea, and I'm gonna have, like, I don't know how I'm gonna communicate this, but I basically am, like, trying to ask Astro to come up to, like, where the paths merge, and to, like...
So you're just saying, here, boy,
sniff around and...
You're
like, get, like, his
around.
instincts and stuff.
So Astro's running up, and you're kind of pointing him in directions as the bird's getting the flame bath, and Astro does sniff around and kind of play around, and he picks up a stick and looks around, holds this little stick in his mouth, and just starts sniffing around.
Okay,
Probably
you're too much puppy. Yeah.
I'll at the same time pull out my book and be like, let's see which way the kitty chooses, and I'll open it up.
A very old, very fluffy gray cat is laying there. It looks up at you and goes meow and licks its paw.
Which way, kitty?
Meow. Just kind of looks around and then notices the bird in Dracklin's hand, and its eyes get a little bigger, and it starts to let a little rumble in its throat, and it stands up, and the tail flicks a little bit, but with less vigor than a young cat.
Is the cat
and it
hungry cat?
It leaps off of the page of the book, and as it does, it disappears, and the book pages close up on you.
Was the cat's name Raymond?
Raymond?
What was the... Which paw did it lick?
Oh,
the right
sure.
one.
Okay.
It did lick its right paw, and you said which would it pick.
That's true enough.
The right.
I'm just going to keep B1RD on my shoulder. I'm not necessarily going to send him out at this point. He seems pretty comfortable. And if he starts to get uncomfortable, then I'll try something.
The canary in the mines.
Precisely.
Garth is going to take a quiet moment to himself. And as he's just, like, very internally, like, focusing himself, he just speaks the name Avorine and just, like, looks for divine guidance, the divination in this moment to see if there's any help.
It's quiet.
Well, that was fun.
And as you seek into the quietness for an answer, one word comes floating back to you, and it is danger.
I don't think that was Averine. It's not what he sounded like before.
There, God.
Well,
But I'll take the warning. Danger. Well, wait. Danger. That could be about the forest, but you were thinking about going right. And I just had this feeling of danger.
I think it's just the forest that's.
I think we're overinterpreting this.
Yeah.
Let's go right, and I mean, I think Valari has a very good point.
I think it doesn't really matter, and I think everyone says right, so I'm
Okay,
I'm fine
I
with
start
that.
walking.
Wait, just to clarify, you all know that the cats don't actually mean anything, right?
Oh, trust me, I'm very well aware.
Okay, just want to make sure. I mean, I've just been doing that gig as a joke. I just wanted to make sure we were
Yeah,
on the
no,
same page. They don't actually know anything.
I feel
Well,
like
I-
as a druid seeing the cats, it's like,
I'm
really,
still
we're
maintaining.
going off of this.
I think I'm still maintaining my feeling like it doesn't really matter which way we pick because it's gonna change.
I think that's a very good point. To be honest, that might be the. If there's one that seems to lead to the heart of the forest, that's it. But other than that, everything can change. So
Is there a path where the air smells less foul?
that was going to be my next question.
The air is a bit musty as there's not an active breeze through here, but there isn't any foulness or stench in any direction that you notice.
Okay, great.
Well-
I'm going right.
Yeah, we've deliberated long enough. Take the right path.
Okay.
Shadowreel says do a Hansel and Gretel and just leave some crumbs behind, but I feel like Astro would like follow and eat up all the bread as we're going.
That's fair.
All right.
All right, we're going right.
You proceed right. How do you proceed? Similar order?
I'm leading.
Carefully.
Summon a longsword at my hip.
Summoning a longsword. Here carefully. Does that mean you're looking for anything specifically?
I am looking for vines. I am
Everywhere.
looking for monsters. I am looking for danger. I've had a lot of Java. I can look for multiple things at once.
Right. So as your number one thing, vines, you notice vines are everywhere and your eyes get really big as the Java kicks in and you just are mildly more focused on the fact that there's vines everywhere.
Awesome.
She walks how motorcycle drivers drive, just like
Zigzagging everywhere.
just watching everything.
All right, you do walk forward and the path seems to weave a little bit from what you could tell. And as you get up to what seems to be almost a small clearing, you notice a unbooted foot kind of sitting amongst some of the foliage. And as you look, you do notice that there's seemingly a not too long dead remainder there.
I was going to say, is there a person attached to the foot, or is it
Yes.
just a foot?
No. There's, as you notice the toes as the light's coming in, you notice that there's no boot on the foot. It's just kind of in a stocking of sorts. And then there's a red powder across the stocking. And you do look up across this corpse, and you do see that it's almost as if this woman had dressed for the under armor of the day, but the metal armor she would have put on top of the under armor is gone, except for a couple little very rusted pieces kind of sitting where the breastplate would be and a few pieces on the legs, but she's covered mostly in a very red dust where the rest of the armor would be. The sword at her side, the hilt is basically all that's left, with a very rusted off main part of the sword. The blade is all but gone.
Ew.
Can I roll
You're a
something
fighter.
to figure that out?
But
Can you
red
roll?
dust?
Can you
I
roll
don't
something?
fight red dust.
What would you like to roll?
Would that be like a history check on if I've heard of any sort of red dust?
Yeah,
Oh,
you can roll a history check.
You said this is a recently deceased.
Yeah, she looks like she's only been dead maybe a day or two.
Oh. Wow.
That is a 22.
A 22. As you ease in just a little bit to study what's going on, you realize that the armor and the under armor that she's wearing seems to have been completely rusted through to the point of destruction. You notice the blade is completely rusted through, and you think that you've heard of these creatures in the past. That most people just call them the rust monster, where they eat through metal as if it's nothing, and allow them to make precise strikes to kill their prey. You do see that there is a stab wound just under the rib cage and a small cut across the neck of this woman, as if it took a couple precise hits to kill off its prey.
We must be careful. I do believe there are creatures, rust monsters. They go after any metal you are wearing, any weapons, so that they can get a better, quicker, cleaner kill shot. Ari, do you have a cloak of some kind from back when we were with TikTok?
I do.
That you can use to maybe cover up the metal and hide your armor a bit?
I'll put my cloak on. And I'm gonna switch to my great axe for a bit. I'm gonna get my great axe out just so I have some distance option.
All right. Of the rest of you, do you do anything here?
I think Garth's gonna put on his hood or his cloak that he has, and he's gonna the Navar cloak, and he's gonna put up the hood to cover his circlet that he's wearing.
All right.
And he's gonna tuck his necklace of protection down underneath. He's just like, metal, hide all the metal.
I'll call B1RD back into my pocket.
He balls up and drops into your pocket. Anything else you'd like to do as you've now seen this?
You should be all right. But...
Oh, Rumil, could you look for tracks? For whatever creature might have done this, see if they've come back this way anytime recently.
I'll see if I can find anything around. I don't want to disturb the remains. That red dust is a bit suspicious, and I don't want to start, puffing up clouds. But just to see if there's anything.
Yeah,
around.
As you walk around looking for tracks, you do seem to see what looks like a few zigzags through the brush around, as if someone had lost their way trying to figure out where they were going. You do notice a little bit of some broken sticks and leaves that look like there was a small fight just next to where this body had laid. And then you do find a very small oblong leather satchel, could only carry maybe a dagger within it, and otherwise that's all you see.
Does the satchel have anything like any of this dust on it? Is it just kind of flung away from the person?
It seems it's about 10 or 11 feet away from her. It seems like it might have been dropped or misplaced during the battle, as it's kind of in the beat down brush. There's no dust on it. There's no emblems that you can see. Nothing that calls out what it is.
Sure. I'll check it out just to see if this person was carrying anything on them.
Yeah. You open it up, and within there's a small note that speaks of a crypt of treasure in the Wandering Woods. And it speaks that the treasure is so vast that it is well worth an expedition in such deadly forests. There's 4 copper, a small bit of, it looks like some dried meat that might have been a snack or a meal, and a very gnarled looking old beat up wand.
A wand.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll take the satchel, just kind of sling, as long as it seems to be in like decent condition.
It seems to be in pretty good condition. There is no attached rope or object to hang it off of. There is almost a belt loop that you could hook it onto any of your belts or clasp it or tie it onto anything.
Onto a belt.
On the front where the leather clasps together, there is a very small emblem that looks like it was from whoever had created it. It's a very ornate LV and a circle around it.
I will take the.
Le Plot. That makes more sense than Louis Vuitton.
Louis Vuitton, he did come through the portal briefly and gave out a few bags, but
I thought it was a Louis Vuitton bag.
Carried on with Steve.
Steve. Okay.
I will take the satchel back.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the plot was Louis Vuitton.
And kind of hand the note to, just kind of gesture to the group. Whoever would like to take a look at this note, it does appear that this group came in with as an expedition to find some treasure, which appears to be buried in this forest. A bit treacherous, really, if anyone would like to take a look at that. Also, Garth, I believe this may be more of your expertise, and I will carefully take out the wand and present it. My knowledge of, I don't know, Arcana. I'm more of a nature guy than an Arcana guy, so this seems more of of your domain. So if you would like to inspect this.
I could roll an Arcana just to see if I come out with anything right away, and if not, I can do Detect Magic.
Yeah.
Sorry, the note, you were able to read it and understand everything? Okay. Just making sure.
Arcana is a 16.
All right. You notice as you pick up this wand, it doesn't carry many special properties to it, but every time you look at it from different angles, it seems to change just a little bit, and you feel that there's an aura of confusion or displacement about this wand, and you expect its power to be somewhat chaotic in that manner, but you're not sure what it does.
Seems to be a very odd wand. Chaotic in nature. If we have 10 minutes, if not, I guess I could always do it the short way.
No, don't use it.
Oh, no, we have to take 10 minutes. I didn't prepare that one today. So we take 10 minutes. No? You don't want to take 10 minutes?
I would leave it to the group.
I think it's fine.
Yeah, do it.
Okay. While he's going to do that, I'm going to try and scout around a little bit, see if I can pick up any more of the path.
All right. As you scout around, you notice that the path goes in many directions, and you rotate through and you remember roughly where you came from, but you also feel that that wasn't where you actually were. It was almost if the forest had rotated around you a little bit.
Gotcha. So as not to disturb Garth and his rituals, I'll mention that to the rest of the group. After scouting around a bit, the path is very irregular and it's hard to make out, but it does... I don't know, there's something about it. My sense of direction tells me that we came from a particular direction, but that does not appear to be the direction that we came from. It seems as if what the ram said was true, in that the forest does seem to move about a bit. Getting through and coming out was going to be very difficult.
Fun.
I look
Oh,
out
not
to
to
the
me.
trees.
That
Like, specifically not to you.
I was like, see, it
Fun
didn't
is-
matter what path we took.
Fun is one of the words in the spell.
Why can't we be friends? Why
And
can't we be friends? 8 bars.
and
Just, you know.
as you're all trying to figure this out, the moment hits where Garth has cast Detect Magic, correct?
Yep.
You look down at the wand, and it comes across as this is a enchanted wand. It's a wand of enchantment of some sort. You can't quite understand what the enchantment is or what it casts, but you know that it is fully enchantment that is the school of magic that surrounds this thing.
Well, it's enchanted with something. That's what I got.
Well, okay. Anything else for here? Otherwise, I believe we should probably continue on. I would hate to get trapped in here after dark, though that seems to be a very real possibility.
Lead on, Ramil will follow you, pick away anyway.
I will try and sort through the path as well as I can. Proceeding forward.
As you proceed forward, and you believe this is the forward of the direction that you were going, the forest seems changed, almost as if you've
Not
backtracked
natural.
on yourself a little bit. And you notice that you come into the same little clearing at a different angle. This time, it feels like the first time you approached, but now straight
Like the
across.
clearing with the triple split, or with the bot.
The split point.
Okay.
You do look straight across, and instead of being the direction you'd expect, the entrance is straight out from you. You see some bright light, and you do notice that off to the side there is that branch that had fallen down at you, and it still lays on the forest floor.
Weird.
The forest seems to have circled us back around.
We're going around in circles.
Going in circles. I think it's.
I wonder if there's an
We've been
acid
here
bog
before.
nearby. Can you smell it? Anyway,
At this point, as you're looking around, you do notice that there is another corpse straight ahead, laying up kind of against a tree. Unfortunately, it looks like it's laying in the tree a bit more, as if the tree has come around this person. They look like they've been dead a bit longer. From what you can tell, the skin that you do see is a bit more pale. But like I said, they are kind of engulfed by the tree a little bit. And you see hands and a lower torso kind of sticking out. You do see some of their gear laid out as if they had set it down to take a rest and laid up against the thing.
I don't like this place. My Java is all worn off.
I'm gonna mage hand over and like if there's a bag or anything.
There is a small satchel, but it appears as you kind of poke at it that it's been emptied, and it looks like it carried some food, and there's just a few crumbs left in it.
Okay. Trying to find. I'm like, if there's anything else, I'm just trying to find if he had any paperwork on him, anything that's like, why was he here?
A clue.
You do notice that on the one hand that's kind of laying up on a leg, there's a bright golden band on one of the fingers. Not so much like a wedding band, but something that is definitely enchanted, and it kind of pulses and glows a little bit.
If you use mage hand, I like take the ring off his finger.
All right. As you bring it back close to you, the ring definitely has a magical quality to it. And because your detect magic is still active for just a few moments longer, you do notice that it's got a bit of divination about it.
Ooh. This is enchanted with divination magic.
Isn't that what you do?
That's what I do.
Okay.
Do you all mind if I?
No.
be wary. But it's not of the forest, it's from outside the forest, so you're probably much better off.
The way to find out, slip on the ring.
You slip on the ring, and no disappearing. As you slip on the ring, you feel a slight pulse to the ring, as if it is getting acclimated to its new owner. The glowing dies down a little bit, and you almost feel as if the ring is trying to understand you a little bit, but you feel no fear in it. You feel no maliciousness. It's almost as if some of the items that you've gained in the past, as if you're becoming accustomed to owning its true power.
Yes. Wonderful.
Rumiel, you don't happen to, I don't know how you druid folk operate, but you don't have a way to talk to trees, do you, or plants?
There is a way to talk to the plants. Unfortunately, I don't have a good way of doing that on me right now.
Okay. I just was wondering, because it seems like this tree is eating this person.
Yeah, maybe don't touch the trees or lean up by the trees or...
I'll kind of stick my blade into the tree just to make sure it's not an illusion.
As you stick your blade into the tree, it catches like wood normally would catch a blade. But when you stick the blade into the tree a little bit, you notice the bark starts to ease up on the edges of the blade as if it's trying to pull the blade into itself a little bit.
Oh. I'll grab a gold coin and I'll stick it into the tree and let go.
As you stick the coin onto the tree, it grasps onto it within a matter of a second or so, and you're able to remove pressure, and the coin gets mostly sucked into the tree, and you see just a little bit of the golden edge sticking out, as if it seems the tree can't pull the entirety of its prey into it.
Nope.
This tree eats things.
Nope. Nope.
Ari, put your hand on there.
Nope.
Let's maybe
Can
just
we go?
stay off or stay on the trail.
I'm doing my very best. This forest is a bit odd.
We went to the right path, and
It?
now it looks like we came back on which path?
The main path.
It looks like you came back on the path that was straight ahead from the entrance. So
Right.
if the entrance is at the bottom, you took the one to the right, but it looks like you came back on the one from the top.
So that leaves the left.
That's the way to Mordor.
Left is all that's left.
So the leftmost path, which is to your right at the moment, essentially coming from the opposite
Yes.
direction.
Right.
So right is right, I guess.
Correct.
You do walk forward a bit more, and
What's wrong?
there is a little bit of a beam of light coming down from the forest opening up ahead. In this beam of light, you do notice there's a indented, pounded down piece of ground, and you can see that the plants around that area are flattened a bit, and it sinks down a foot or two, and it's about 20 feet ahead of you as you're coming up to this light.
Is there any shape to it?
Shape to the indentation? It seems almost as if it's like a bowl shape, concaved in, as if something was smashing into an area.
Is it like? Does it almost look like it was a perfect sphere?
No, it looks bowl shaped, not like a cylinder, like something
Almost
just
as
came
if something
straight
was
down. But
Like
it
90s
looks
haircut.
it looks upside down bowl cut. No, but it does look more like something had smashed in an area, and the center was more smashed in, and the outsides were hit less.
Gotcha. Okay.
Being in the lead, I will take my staff, kind of wave it back and forth across the light.
As you wave it back and forth across the light, you do notice that it's daylight coming down. And as you wave it back and forth across the light, you kind of look into this smashed-in area and catch a glimpse of the remains of, it looks like, an orc that had been smashed to bits by something that, as you kind of look, seems to be bark and branches, as if the trees were almost coming in at this orc.
Oh! Well... Well... It appears that there's been an orc here that has been absolutely decimated by these trees. I don't know exactly what the trigger for the trap is.
It
But
might not be a trap. The forest may just dislike the evil of all.
that's also my thought. And I've tried waving, breaking the light, just in case that had anything to do with it, and it does not seem to. In any case, I do think it would be wise to stay away from the hole.
Let's go around it.
So what's your step here?
Okay.
I'm gonna proceed rather cautiously.
Okay.
I don't know how wide the path is, but trying to stay more or less on the path that I can pick out.
The path seemed to have gone straight through where this orc was smashed in, so the beam of light is only about 10 or 12 feet in diameter, so you're able to kind of push through the brush around it, being careful not to touch any of the trees.
Yes.
I'm just saying under my breath, we're here as friends. We're here to do good. We're your friends. We're here to do good.
As you're pushing around it, you see that there's a small glint on the far side of this smashed in area, and it shines like a bright coin, and it catches Astro's eye, and he goes bolting through this area and gets to the other side, and just as he gets to the other side and scoops up this coin, a branch comes smashing down in the center and comes back up, and Astro is standing there holding the coin, bright blue, and teleports right back next to Valari's feet and is like bristled in all directions, and he spits out the coin and puts his little butt down, and his eyes are wide, and he just looks around and lets out a little whimper and then kind of leans his head up against Valari's leg.
I scratch his head and I take the coin from his mouth.
Oh, he had dropped the coin in front of him. And this little dude is now terrified as he'd walked through the light, searching out for this little shiny thing. As you pick up the coin, Valari, you notice that it is the shiniest golden coin on one side, but as you flip it over, it is worn and ugly, and it has, instead of like a royal imprint, it's got a skull imprint on that side. You feel as you look on the incredibly shiny bright side that there's good things, but as you flip it over, there's incredibly bad things.
It's like literally a two-sided coin.
Yes, but
Don't flip it.
can I roll an Arcana check? Or I guess I might not have seen. Well, I've seen everything that Astro did.
You watched it, yeah. I think you were, in marching order, you were near enough to Valari to take a look at the coin as Astro had dropped it, and Valari picked it up. Please roll an Arcana check if you wish to try and understand what you glimpsed.
17.
17. You look at this coin and you understand that you've seen such objects in the past, but never with such clarity on both sides. They tend to be 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and 20-sided things, with a little less understanding to their outcomes. But this one has true outcome on either side.
Yes, this is very interesting. This is almost tells you what will happen, either good or bad. And I understand. You think, well, yes, a flip of the coin, heads or tails, but this holds true weight.
It's a fairly light coin in your pocket, however.
It's like, it's not very heavy.
I don't like it.
It's how do I put it?
Real good stuff happens or real bad stuff happens.
But it doesn't decide, it just knows what's gonna happen.
No, I think it.
That has yet to be determined.
What I know it as like a more than just a thing of chance. What I know it as like a divining tool, just being a wizard combination.
You would know this to be more of a divining tool, and you would know that such tools only have a use per couple days because of the amount of divination that is expelled in use.
Yes, no, I do believe that it would tell us right or wrong, but only possibly once for a few days because the great toll.
And also you do know that it has to have intention behind it in order to be used. So just dropping it and flipping it around in your hand without really requesting its aid is safe to an extent, as long as you're not thinking about an outcome of something.
He had just dropped it on the ground.
Astro had just dropped it out of fear. Yeah, he wasn't trying to flip it or do anything with
There
it.
wasn't anything.
No.
For sure.
No, I was just curious if there was like.
Astro
Is that a
wasn't...
doggy bone ahead? Flip.
All right.
Okay. Should we keep going? I mean, what option do we have? Let's keep going.
Astro woof.
I believe that's probably our only course of action at this point.
Yeah.
So guys, like this really funny joke I feel just developed from the chat. And it's like, so what did Valari's dog drop the coin on? Astro woof.
Instead of AstroTurf.
AstroTurf.
Oh my, we're starting to get some footballs in here.
Oh.
Some of the sport things.
Hashtag day 300 or whatever without sports.
Everything is now sports. We will be running D&D sessions which are football related. Every play is going to be a roll of...
No kidding though. I just saw an ad for a tabletop baseball game.
We used to play football in elementary school.
Well, that's just like, yeah, but this is like, you have baseball players, they're going around bases, you're rolling to see how it hits. Like
Nat 20, I get to second. Ugh.
But that just proves how boring baseball is.
No. It's a numbers game. But
Neil, lead us down the
this
path.
is a different topic. As Rumil clears into what seems to be the path ahead, a cleanly shaven, well-dressed man is standing there. He is wearing fine leathers and has a gleaming sword at his side, and he's looking around as if to figure his next step. And he turns and looks at you all, and looks up and goes, "Ah, I see that you must be lost in the woods with me. Do you know?
No.
Do you know which direction is which?"
it depends on where you're trying to go.
Very
Well-
good point.
You see, I've been traveling with some friends, and they said they would meet me up along where
Feralt?
the crypts are.
Was your friend Feralt? Or what was his name? Feralt?
Feldar.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yes,
Fel-
Feldar. Feldar's in my group, and he said he would be up near the crypt somewhere.
Yeah, no, he's not in the woods anymore, dude. He
He
left.
escaped.
Well,
Wait.
he made it out. How many
But he's
companions were
like-
supposed to meet you? Were there two others?
One of them.
There were two others, and we had an orc guide here, and
Oh, yeah, the orc is probably dead.
probably dead. What did you do to him?
No, we saw a dead orc.
To be honest, sir, we have encountered on our travels in the forest two bodies.
3.
Two. Oh.
True bodies and one. No, I guess this is three. there was a body by the side of the road which had it was a female, I believe.
Did she have bright gleaming armor?
Well,
Send me
I mean,
more.
she probably used to.
It rusted off.
I'll use Mask of Many Faces to. I'm assuming when we saw her, we could see what she looked like,
You
right?
can see her face.
Yeah,
Yep.
she's not even dead a couple
I'll
days.
Mask of Many Faces myself to look like her. Like, is this her?
Valin, that is her.
Okay, well, yeah, she's dead.
Well, she's gone.
And then the fellow who sat by the tree was kind of eaten by the tree, and then I'll Mask of Many Faces to look like that person as well.
You didn't get to see his face.
Pants.
You saw
Okay.
from like mid-torso down.
Okay, so
Okay,
just
so
look
mid
at his
torso down.
pants.
Does it look like this?
Does his pants look like...
That
Hey,
it does.
We got raided.
That was my
Hello,
brother.
it's Link's here and party.
Hey!
Welcome, Raid. Thank you. It's Lynx
Join
here for
us.
the raid. Thank you for all who came through. Just as a quick break from our story here, we are a Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition group. We're playing through a massive campaign right now, and these players are finding themselves in a forest that seems to change in and of itself, and they've just met someone else. For those of you who don't know, a raid is another channel, is probably finishing up their time for the evening, and they send all of their people watching
To another
to
channel.
a different channel. They host that channel, and then they throw everyone into the chat. Sometimes the raiders will spam the chat. We didn't get spammed in the chat at the moment, but that's what happens when like there's 30 new people that just blow the chat up.
But also, thanks for hosting, too.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
Link's
thank
here.
you.
Thank
We
you, thank you.
appreciate the raid and the host. Lord Draclin just showed the guy the pants, and we're like, look at the pants.
Yes. Oh, you are you sure that was the man that you saw?
Yes.
He was wearing
He
That's
can't
really
replicate it if he didn't see it.
Are you
Oh, yes.
positive? That
Yes.
ring. That was my brother.
Oh, he got eaten by a tree.
Eaten by a tree.
Valari, maybe you shouldn't be the one telling him these
What?
things.
Somebody's gotta just tell him. There's
He-
no
Yes,
good way to say this.
He looks around at the trees and kind of like tries to center himself away from any of the trees.
That's probably a good thing. But
And,
Draclin, show him the orc.
Oh, the orc too, and then I'll Mask of Many Faces myself into the orc.
Beat to smithereens.
It's kind of hard to face, but I
That's-
do my best. It's like
He-
got some smushes all around.
he turns and kind of squints his eye. Oh, that was our guide.
Yeah, he gets it. He was, so he knows.
Well, it seems that I am without a party, and I am without a map, and without a guide.
You should probably make your way out. With
Which way is out? I've been trying to figure which way is in as well.
Best we can tell it's that way.
And as you're all talking, the few of you that all point in different directions, as you all are now completely unawares of which direction is which, including those who have the ability to know.
Really, it's not even something we could roll on.
You can roll on it, but I will tell you it'll be a DC 25. So if you can catch that, then you will point in the direction.
What are we rolling against?
It should be your history.
Oh no, I'm not gonna get a 25.
Oh.
There's no way.
I was gonna say, could I use?
I
I was
can get it
gonna
with a
try to use
19 or
survival
20.
for tracking.
You can use survival for tracking for that.
I got a 22, so I
22.
missed it.
Can I use stealth?
No.
No, I'm just kidding.
Volari just turns invisible at this. No.
I turn to the straight.
But no, I'm not gonna
man.
point.
Why were you here? What was your
He's-
question?
They
Why?
were looking for the treasure thing.
Why?
I know. I
Why
wanna
are
get-
you here?
That's what he said.
Listen,
We're looking for a well.
Well, then you're not looking for what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a crypt of treasures, and if you do help me with it, I will give you a share of the treasure.
We're not treasure hunting.
50-50 if you wish.
Is he dense? We're looking for a well. We're not looking for treasure.
Good sir, good sir.
Yes.
You can attempt to look for your treasure. At the moment, all of us are looking for a magical well. Your compatriots who are also looking for the treasure seem to have passed on, and they are now part of the forest in a decomposing sort of sense. So,
in that
I
case,
invite you to accompany us. Perhaps together we may all find a way out. However, if you wish to continue your search for the treasure, understand you will be alone in a forest that has consumed the rest of your party.
Well, not the one guy who
We're
got out.
not looking for a way out, though.
No, but if we can add one more person, that could be one more soul in a battle, one more set of eyes.
One
We are
more
better together.
liability.
One more person to help, Valari.
well, if it means that I might have the aid of others, I will join you, and the offer still stands if we find my treasure. It's
I agree.
a 50-50 split.
If we find your treasure, then we will help you, but it is not our main goal. We will try to keep you alive, but that is the only thing that we can guarantee, and I believe we are probably your best bet at this point.
Well, if I have no other bets, then I guess I am part of your group for now.
Until we have to
detect-
sacrifice someone.
What?
Insight. I would like to roll insight just to see if I trust this chap.
All right.
Good.
8.
8. You trust him wholeheartedly, down to his nice little dimple in his smile. That you believe that he is true to his word, and he is a good companion to have.
Welcome to the team. I shake his hand. What's your name?
My name is Delgon.
I wanna check something though. Does he have anything on him?
Yeah, he's got.
Yeah, he's got armor, a gleaming sword. He's got a small satchel on his back.
But nothing like small. Like he's holding his sword, right? I assume he doesn't have like
I'm not sure where you're going
a
with this.
dagger. Or
I don't know
anything.
either. What do you?
Not that you can see, no.
Okay, never mind.
I'd like to roll insight too, just to see if
Yeah.
he's a threat.
I wanted to text his like reflexes and his awareness,
Oh, okay.
so I was gonna try and take something from him.
It's a 12.
It's 12. You seem to have no issue with the man. You do think that he is a bit off his rocker, as he seemed to be just lost without his friends and just wandering this forest alone.
Okay.
All right. If this is a Beauty and the Beast situation and he's actually like a beautiful sorceress hiding, I want the points for helping him. Don't turn us into beasts.
Another option, just to throw it out there for the group, is I could just give him the ability to fly and he could just go up and out and leave this place.
I like that.
I believe
Personally.
he's probably, quite frankly, he's probably very concerned about his treasure. If we do happen to stumble upon it, I'm not opposed to helping the man. He could also be, like I said, another set of eyes, another sword, should anything go wrong.
Give him the option.
We gave him the option. He seemed willing to come with us.
But flying.
Well, but we didn't give him the option to fly out. So I think that's
Still
something we should do.
We could fly you out of this forest.
Well, yeah.
Or you
How
could
good is your range on that flying spell?
You see him fly up and over and then just crash through the forest up ahead.
Also,
I just
It's
give it
the-
to somebody and then they have it
For
at the time. I don't have to stay in range.
are we sure that he can even get up through the branches? If these trees are alive,
That was kind of a, I'll say this quietly, that was kind of like a second part of doing this, just to see how it works.
test on this poor chap
I mean, we
here.
just.
He's
Okay.
got
He
armor,
should-
a glowing sword.
He should have the option.
We are burning daylight. Let's go.
He can stay
I
here and
agree.
the trees can eat him, or we can send him flying and the trees can eat him.
Let's
Move
go.
forward.
He's with us. Moving on.
The trees are hungry. As you move forward, this is a great time. We are going to take a brief break, get some snacks, bio break, hang out for a few minutes. We're going to try and keep this as we're all in our own homes and we don't have a shared restroom. We're going to try and keep this to 10 minutes. We'll have a countdown timer for 10 minutes. So players, on your marks, get set. We'll have quiet music. Our intro video will play when we come back. So those of you who are watching should be able to hear us. Shadow Reels, it was great to have you. Get some rest. I know it's late there. The rest of y'all, we'll see you in 10 minutes. And with that, let me unlock this thing and go here and main page, and we're gonna go on to break. And all right, welcome back from break. We are excited to continue this wonderful, terrible, amazing storyline here. Hopefully you've got your snacks, your drinks, etc. Before we dive back in, just a reminder, watch our Instagram. You can find that below on the links here on Twitch. Otherwise, if you're listening in, it's Instagram's handle of Here Be Dragons DND. So Here Be Dragons, the letters D and D.
Just like the Twitch handle.
Just like the Twitch handle, just like everything but our actual
So yeah, there's
Twitter
going to be
handle.
2 giveaways. One will be through Instagram. I think entries will be open for about 2 weeks. The result of that, the winner will get to choose one of our shirts. So go check out our merch page. Check out what we have, because you'll get to choose any of our shirt options that we will ship. And then also on the... What?
No, I'm just laughing. Nathan's trying to hide any crunchiness. It's okay. We can't hear you over here. Crunch away.
No, we can't.
We can.
And then on June 6th, for our season finale, we'll also be giving away a shirt during stream.
Yep.
That
will only require you to be in the stream chat for just a few minutes and interact with the bot that will help facilitate the giveaway. If you're not here when it happens, it's okay. We'll contact you.
So, and it's not exclusive to North America. So whoever you are, whoever your friends are, feel free to check it out.
If you have friends.
Man. Yeah. But like Lindsay just said, we do have a season finale on June 6th. So this storyline wraps then. We do have a extra episode, as she did allude to, on May 30. So in 2 weeks, we will have that episode. It will be a one-shot. It'll be something fun, different, and we're going to enjoy that there. But that's when we will announce the Instagram giveaway. Again, something you don't have to be present on the stream when we announce it. We'll contact you on Instagram as well. The Instagram post to like, follow, share, etc. will go live in the next day or two if it hasn't already. And we will have that up. We'll call it out on our Insta and various places, so you do get reminded to do what you need to get an eligible chance to win. But again, check out the merch link below. All of our merchandise will be there that you can choose from, and if you do decide to support us, we get a little bit of money from those shirts as well to help fund out our set and all the other fun stuff that we do, such as our giveaways. But yeah, we're going back into the story. The players had walked into this forest that has changed out from under them, found a few dead bodies, and now has found one of the remaining party members.
It's a trap.
Potentially a trap.
Yeah, I think he's fine.
He's lost just like we are.
In chat, Awesome Shoe is recommending that you run. So, Austin, I think that might be directed to you. Run.
Well, no, I was
That
Penguin Witch
blue
Doctor
color.
said they'd be right back, so I told them.
Oh, okay.
That blue color that they assigned to you is really hard to read, though.
Whatever.
Just so you know, I don't know why. It just.
They assigned me blue. On mine, it's orange. It's very clear.
Mine too.
Yeah.
Magic.
It's blue.
All right. So you have met Delgon, and he is part of your party looking for treasure, but wanting to stick with others in the forest.
That makes sense.
We proceed with caution.
And
We
excitement.
have to.
And for treasure!
And dragons.
Dragons! Have you seen dragons around here?
Well, I mean, we fought two a couple miles from here, but I'm sure we're fine.
Well, they headed this way.
No, we fought them. We
Well,
killed
that
them. It's
It's now a
fine.
man, so you can take whatever you want from that.
This forest is intriguing to say the least.
How long have you been here, sir? You seem to me the most sane person that we have run into. One of them was crazy. 3 of them were dead.
So that's not really great odds.
I
for going
was
to
about to say that's a relative saying that he's most sane.
So,
It's not very stiff competition, but you are using coherent words.
the competition does seem like it would be stiff at this point if they're dead. Rigor mortis in all considered.
Who's your brother,
Was
dude?
one of those people your brother?
Well, he chose to venture into
You.
People
this
cope in
forest.
different ways.
My coping will be to gain my brother's share and
Yeah.
to.
He's gonna get one of us possibly killed. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Or all of us possibly killed, but treasure!
Delgon, do you want treasure? Look
Yes,
at
sir.
this. And I'll open my cat book in front of him.
What is that? Oh, I'm very allergic to kittens,
Keep
but
open it.
this kitten is amazing. And a little gray kitten is sitting on the pages, mewing softly and staring right up at Delgon. Oh, quite a cute little fella. Have you named him?
I'll close it and then reopen it again for a different cat.
A very scraggly, like junkyard cat is sitting there, and it lets out a.
No
Oh,
need to name
bad!
them.
No, don't turn it back! Turn it back!
Make him open it. Make him open it.
Doesn't work that way. You close it and walk on.
I'm walking.
Yeah, we're moving. Well,
What
wanna
is
hold on to
with
the
this
rope with us?
forest? No.
I'll let someone keep an eye on him.
He can keep an eye on himself. He's a big boy.
He kind of trods up and is almost shoulder to shoulder with you, Rumiel, as he wants to be kind of the leader in finding his treasure.
I'm just gonna kind of not like you know, I don't know how to
You
like
give him the bitch.
challenge of power, like side eye. I'm not like that, but just like really, I'm a druid who lives in the forest. You really? Okay, you're welcome to, but this is literally what I do.
Wow, you say a lot with one look.
He returns the look, and it says, I am a treasure hunter, and I go as far as I must, and I leave bodies behind in my wake for treasure. So this is what I,
can
do.
actually see that look.
Don't trust him.
All right. Well, it's your funeral, and I will bury you among the vines.
These silent conversations go on as you both walk forward, and you get into the first clearing that looks like pathway has been placed. It's almost a 20-foot by 20-foot square that is stonework that had been laid into the ground. It's got moss covered over it as if it's been there for many years. At the far side of this, there is a small tomb-esque opening that leads into the ground. And just as
It's a trap.
the exchange of looks stops, Delgon looks forward and goes, This must be the crypt! Ha! The treasure is just ahead! But how did you know the crypt was this way?
Good sir. Go, Goth.
We're looking for a well. I don't think anyone can know which direction anything is in this forest. I think the forest leads people where it needs them?
Then it needs us to find the treasure. It must be, a burden for the forest to guard. I can guard it myself.
Please.
After you.
I'm gonna probably, like, if he wants to take a look at the treasure, that's fine. I don't know. I feel like I could care less.
We need to find the
Are
well.
there other paths around
I'm
here?
looking for a well, and I'm going to be looking through the stone area to make sure that, like, I'm looking for traps, essentially.
Well-
Either man-made or natural-made.
Now, really quickly though,
Yes, of course.
have we considered the idea that the well may be in with this crypt? I mean, it is a crypt after all. And
It
good
is
sir,
possible. It's,
we've told you we're looking for a well. We didn't happen to mention it's called the Well of Souls. Is that at all aligned with your quest?
My quest was, heaps of treasure from kings past, but, there could be a well in this crypt of sorts. If it's a well of souls, it could be anything. A well of souls to me in my travels would say, maybe it's just, a small pot of curses or something, but, maybe it's a fountain, maybe it's a puddle. Oh, I've never searched for a well of souls in my time.
We could always flip the coin about going down.
I don't know if we should. But what
We can
I'm
hold on to it.
all I'm saying is that if
Hilarious.
if I were looking for a well of souls, I would try to look where more souls would have been kept. And where do you keep people, dead especially, but a crypt?
no, it's a very good point, Garth.
Good point indeed.
What do I see around the edges of the square?
Around the edges of the square, the forest has grown up. You do see a couple little worn-in paths in all directions, even from around the crypt, as if humanoids have passed through here at some point. Nothing to Rumil's senses says that it is a creature of any sort, but it does look worn in all directions as if things have come and gone, but nothing in particular sticks out.
Ramil, I know what your senses have gotten thrown off, but does this feel like we're near the center?
I'm going to kind of take a venture out into the middle, look up, look around. If I don't get anything, my thought is to pull B1RD out.
All right.
First of all, well, we'll go from there. I have.
Yeah. So as you walk out into the center, there's about 10 feet on any side of you, and you look up and you're able to catch a little bit of sunlight, and you can tell that you have traveled for about a half a day or more now. It looks like it's mid-afternoon. And as you start realizing the time, you start understanding that the hunger pangs that would have hit around lunchtime are now just mildly there, and it feels almost as if time has passed at different rates. That you're not quite sure if you're in the same day or the following day, but time is off to you as you've looked around, but there's nothing else that you can see within this cleared area.
Well, Ari, I have to admit that I am a bit confused, and I don't want that to come off as, oh, the random guy got confused. Being in forest is something I'm very familiar with, and I can usually keep a very good idea of directions and where we've been, and I've never really been lost before. This forest is baffling, truly baffling. We may be near the middle.
Your gut says that you're most likely near-ish to the middle.
We might be near. We've been traveling for a while, but to be completely honest, my whole sense of direction and even time has been skewed in this place, and that is That is something that is not natural at all. In all of my days walking and roaming forests, I have never had an experience like this.
Well, all right. We'll look for traps.
Shall we venture in and see if our treasures lay together?
I'm willing to give it a shot. Logic tells me it's possible.
There's other paths around though, right? Like from what was described.
Somewhere that looks like it's come in from all sides or left from all sides.
Okay. I just think that if I was gonna have traps or something to kill people, it would be around the treasure. Which could be the well, could not. I mean, what about the coin? That was an interesting idea, Ari.
Valari's call.
I mean, if you guys really feel like this is... Because, you know, I imagine it has limited uses in a day. So, if we're fine assuming that, like, we only get one try with it, and...
I mean, it has to be a yes or no, so I just don't, you know, this feels like a, is the well...
In the crypt.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Versus, is the well, where is the well, isn't a question we can ask it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that sounds pretty fair. That it would probably be a yes or no.
Makes sense to me.
Yes, if you guys really want me to, I can do it.
Only if you want to, though. Astro found it. It is yours. If you want to save it, that is your choice. And we can just proceed and search for traps.
Okay, I guess I just take it out and flip it.
You flip the coin, all right?
Well, what question are you asking?
What is your intent?
Seriously, the one we just said, is the well in the crypt or not?
Is the well in the crypt or not? It flips onto the brightly golden side, and as it flips and lands on the golden side, a spectral image of a sword comes out, and it floats there as if it's guarding or protecting, and then it turns and starts pointing, and it points towards the crypt and then turns a little bit away from the crypt, as if pointing in a direction.
That's not helpful.
Well, now, which way did... It pointed to the crypt first.
I'm guessing it's... Sorry, go Garth, I'm just excited.
Is it
It's down and to the right, or...
Yes, is it pointing to the right or to the left?
It's pointing to the right of the crypt.
But I'm saying, like, do we think this means down the crypt and to the right? Or does this mean that we just go to the right of the crypt?
I would say that it first pointed to the crypt.
Mm-hmm.
Because the question was, is it in the crypt? It pointed us to the crypt, and then it
turned
said,
cold.
go to the right.
That would be my understanding.
I would agree with that.
Draculin?
Agreed.
All right.
Well, I
Let's
say
search
we
for
venture
traps.
forth.
So, are we just leaving the crypt of treasure?
No,
What are you,
we're going down.
No, we're going
what are
down.
you talking
Oh,
about?
we're going
We
down.
believe
Your lucky day, fellow.
our goals might be aligned. Agreed. This is your lucky day.
Perfect. Again, 50-50 if you wish to tip me some of the 50 of yours. For
Are you absurd, man?
you wouldn't know there was a crypt of treasure here without
Actually,
me.
we did.
Oh, well, in that case,
It was in the note, to be
50-50. Let us head inside. I guess one of you knows the directions?
Yes.
Ish.
Ish.
More or
All right.
less.
Then, lead on.
Okay.
I'll lead.
As we get to the entrance, I'm gonna stop and look for traps.
As you get to the entrance and stop and look for
call.
traps, you see nothing here. No vines, no tripwires. Nothing at the door. There's some steps that lead down. It darkens about 10 to 12 steps down, and you can't really see where it goes from there.
I light a torch.
I will also light a torch.
I will conjure a flame.
I just keep walking forward.
You keep walking forward. As you all,
One flame, though.
as you
We get
all
separated.
create light.
It's 30 feet of light.
I'm also going to put my great axe away and get my longsword out, so I can have a hand for each.
All right.
I have 10 torches. I might as well use them at some point.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. And now you have a flaming thing with which to hit things with, should the need arise.
Exactly.
As you head down the stairs, you notice that it's only about 30 steps down, and then it opens into a bit of a cavern. The floor is worn as if it might have had treasure stored within it. There's no open burial sites down here. On the walls, it looks like there's some plating, some large stone plates that could have been removed, and corpses have been placed in them. All of the stones have been removed, but it's empty within. This crypt is quite
It's an
like
empty crypt.
vacant of everything. The crypt goes about 60 feet deep, and as you are able to peer down, you do notice that there is one body impaled on the floor about 40 feet from you.
Like something coming out of the floor?
Something coming out of the floor impaled this person, and the blood that surrounds it looks like it has some tackiness to it, as if it's been only a couple days.
Forrestal. He was good. He was very, very good.
What?
It's raiders, if no one
So I imagine I stopped at the bottom of these like stairs or the end of the hall or whatever, and I see this. So I'm gonna take the bedroll out of my pack,
Okay.
and I'm gonna like throw it into the room.
It drops and bounces and rolls across the floor just a little bit, but nothing happens if you're trying to spring any traps. Is that what your intent was?
Yeah, I just wanted
Okay.
to check some stuff.
Nothing happens as it bounces and rolls across the floor.
To clarify, it is 7 pounds. It is the heaviest thing in my pack.
Okay, that's what you chose that. Okay. No traps are sprung, and it just lets out a few echoey thuds.
Are there any offshoots, like anywhere we could turn right?
No, it seems to be a fairly
straightforward.
straightforward, empty, cavernous room that the people with dark vision can see the end even, and your lights kind of flicker out about what would be about halfway where this corpse is.
If I do an Arcana check, would that give me any knowledge?
Kind of. It would give you a little bit of knowledge of if you've seen magical things like a symbol on the floor or whatnot.
I might as well. I'm gonna do that.
I'm also going to create
It's
dancing lights, and I'm going to send them across the room.
Okay.
They can go up to 120 feet, just to, so we can get some more light, to see if there's like a spell that's dispelling the light, or if just like to get us some light on the other side of the room too.
All right. As you put the lights up, you get to see all of the edges, and you do illuminate this cavern fairly well. The stonework here is quite ornate. It was a burial ground of sorts at one point, and you do see that there are dust spots, as if almost bags or chests had been set, much smaller than a casket, but more like treasure chests.
Sure.
Incredibly empty still, however. You look around, you see no incantations or markings, aside from what you see up ahead where the corpse is, that there's almost a line of loose rock that is bumped up a little bit, and it almost looks like the corpse is impaled over that. It's very small. You would have known this to be a very highly magical trap, as you had encountered one a handful of years back trying to steal an artifact out of a keep.
Cool. So I'm gonna go to the center of the room and I'm like put my bedroll back in my pack and I'm gonna like look around at the things to see what I notice.
I'm assuming none of us are tied by the rope at this moment if you're taking off.
I wasn't tied. We had been holding it. I had just been holding it, so I was not an advocate for tying personally, so.
No, I misspoke. I apologize.
No, it's okay.
As far as the tying.
Yeah, so if we had the rope, I had just let go of it because I had kept walking when you guys were trying to get light and stuff anyway, so.
Yeah.
So I'm like looking around and noticing if I like see anything, like any kind of markings or like.
No.
Or anything down
what you do notice as you move forward that little small raised lip of stone definitely does appear to be the magical barrier that you've seen. And as Garth had walked in a little bit, and Drakland even, you would have kind of understood based on the impalement and the little lip that doesn't lead into a room, it's just kind of a lip in the middle of the room, that was some guard protection used in some more older castle builds where it was more of a tripwire and it almost worked in such a way that it would stab anything that wasn't blessed with a certain blessing as it tried to pass through. Just past that, however, the floor, as you get closer, is a different build, and it looks like it's dusted over. And as the movement in the room stirs up a little bit of the dust, you see the floor is made of solid gold, just past the guard stones. And behind you, you hear the extra of your party. Remember, even the smallest of gold would be split in 50-50. Just if there's anything in here.
Yeah, dude, I think your treasure's gone.
Gone? But how?
People took it?
This place feels oddly familiar. And at that moment, you hear...
I'm rounding on him at this point. Like,
you
to
hear
face...
a thunderstorm brew outside. And water starts pouring down the stairs and onto the floor. A torrential downpour happens. And I need you players to roll for initiative as you turn around and your additional party member now has a ghastly glow about him.
25.
25 for Ari. Garth.
25?
That would be
Yep.
12.
Do you have a feat for initiative?
I
Lord
rolled
Drakland.
19 and I have a +6.
Math.
How do you have a +6 to initiative?
Because
It's on
I
her
took a
strength.
feat.
Because what?
She
I
has
took a
2
feat alert.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I was like, I'm pretty sure my dex is higher, and you got a higher initiative, and I rolled a natural 20. So how in the world did you
She
beat
has
me?
I get a
2
plus,
feet.
extra plus.
Lord Drakland, what is your score?
I also rolled a natural 20 for a 23.
23. Dang. Rumiel, sir.
24.
24. Valari.
As per usual, at the bottom with a 15.
And a 15 isn't normally bad.
No, I was like, oh, this is a good
Garth-
roll for me.
Garth is at the bottom. So
Yeah, but I'm not always at that, but I'm at the bottom.
You near the bottom, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I was very pleased with my natural 20. And Ari's like, no, I'm going to beat you with a 19.
I need to.
Well,
I'm gonna need to check the balance on all your guys' dice.
this might be the first natural 20 I have rolled.
And they're using blacksmith, so it's going to be incredibly painful.
Oh, I forgot that like half of you guys are using blacksmith. I don't know if I could
Penguin
check
Witch
the
Doctor,
balance on those.
do exclamation roll, and then space, and then whatever you want. Yeah, there you go. So you can roll like 4d20 if you wish, using book notation, we do have some fun rolling, so you guys can roll along with us. Perfect. So, as you turn around and you notice your new friend gets a ghastly glow about him, his eyes hollow out, and he turns his head and looks at everyone and goes, "It's my treasure!
Oh, lovely.
You have found it, and it is mine."
I bet you the guy who's dead kind of looks a lot like,
Yep.
Delgin.
And as you think that and look over your shoulder, the corpse stands to its feet off of the spike, and it is Delgin, and his corpse turns to fight. At the top of the order is Ari. The whole group is essentially in between the zombie version of Delgin and the ghost version of Delgin. What would you like to do, Ari?
Well, seeing as I don't know how much a sword will do against ghosts.
You also had your great axe out last you said.
No, before
Nope,
we went
she had
in
the
here, I
longsword.
said I put it away and I got my longsword out. So I'm gonna go against Zombie Delgon with my longsword.
All right.
Great. That's what I'm gonna do.
You have a +1 at the moment as well.
I do have a +1 at the moment.
Ooh,
He is about 8
That's.
to 10 feet away from you. So you do have to move to get to him.
I will move to get to him. Does a 23 hit?
If it doesn't, we're in serious trouble.
Does a 23 hit? No, it does not. We're playing by different rules.
Bummer.
AC for all my monsters is 90.
Oh, well, in that case.
Magic missile.
Magic missile. Oh.
1 chromatic orb.
So that'll be 8 points of damage for the first swing.
All right.
And then I'm going to take my second swing. And that one's for sure not going to hit.
9.
A 9.
Does not hit.
I
Cool.
was saying German.
No, it does not hit.
Okay, that's my turn.
All right. That leads us to Rumiel.
All right. Did Mr. Zombie get hit by the rust monster?
No. He
Good.
looks in pristine condition. He has a metal-handled sword. The rest of him is leather work.
Okay, so gotcha.
I know what you're thinking.
Cooking book?
At this moment, he strips of everything that is metal.
Well, at least I can make him weaponless. I will heat metal.
Okay.
Well, okay, we'll cast Shillelagh on my staff because it's a bonus action. And a cantrip, so we're just gonna do that right away. As I spin around, and then I will heat the metal in his sword. Seeing like Ari go to attack him, I want to like disarm him.
Okay.
So yeah, I will heat the metal of his sword.
You'll heat the metal of his sword.
Yes. And he automatically takes 2d8 fire when I cast it.
Okay.
And he needs to succeed on a Constitution saving throw or drop the object if he can.
All right. So please roll your 2d8. I'll roll the Constitution.
Okay.
14 on Constitution save.
That ties.
That ties. So that goes to you.
I guess.
Tie goes the attacker.
Right, but what I guess in this case, what does that mean?
It means that you won. He failed the
Yeah,
throw.
he didn't
has to
save.
drop it.
Right, but I want him to hold. Okay, yeah, no, then he will drop it because I'm going to disarm him.
All
He'll
right.
drop it, but he will also take on 2d8s. He's taking 14 points of damage.
Yeah, baby!
So as the zombie had grabbed onto the sword, getting prepared to attack, it glows bright red, and he drops it to the ground. That hand that he grabbed it with sears and almost falls off.
Mm-hmm.
Is that your turn, sir?
Yes, I've used my action and my bonus action. How far away am I from he?
You're about 20-ish feet. You're
You know
standing
what?
mid-room.
I will move to within. Let me make sure. Oh no, that's. Hold on.
I would just
Yeah.
like to know for the spellcasters, we have 2 bad guys, and I'm not in the way of both of them. So
Wait, we
You
have
go.
2. I thought it was just one.
No, there's
Two,
the ghost.
the skeleton
the
and
ghost
the
and
guy.
the body.
Oh, I thought. Okay, then I will. I disarmed him, but I will move to engage the specter.
Okay, so you turn
Oh, wait,
around.
no, hold up.
Don't do that.
Literally, what she just said was, "I'm not in the way."
So you can use
Well,
non-area
but you can shoot over.
for spell people.
I'm
They haven't-
hitting you with
Okay.
my most minute meteors. Just you did it to yourself.
Okay,
Just
okay.
I'm hitting you with fireball.
I mean, I'll just
Stay.
say at this point too, you can see me with my sword and shield about to run at the specter
And you
too.
have a higher armor class, so I will let you take that.
All right, so you don't-
I'll
you don't
keep
rush.
metal, cast shillelagh, and be ready for
All
the
right.
next round.
All right, and it is
Garth,
Lord
you have
Dracklin's
permission to
round.
do what you must. You have my permission to do what you must, my friend. I won't take offense. I sword and shield. I'm just gonna run up and be like, I knew there was a reason. It gave you the junkyard cat, and I'm gonna swing at him twice.
You're gonna swing at the
With my
ghost twice.
Magic sword.
Perfect.
My sword
Let's do
is
this.
magical. The first one oh sorry. My bonus action was also to place Hexblade's curse on it.
All right.
Which as part of that, yeah, that's it. I don't choose anything with that. Okay, the first one I think is gonna miss. That's an 11.
That does hit.
That does hit.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty,
Those
I'll
have
take
lower
that. Let's see. It's a D8 plus my Hexblade's curse adds my proficiency bonus. Cool.
Get it.
So 9 damage.
9 damage.
Snide?
9 magical damage.
Snine.
And
Well,
then
that's the first one.
that's the first one. And I swing again,
Is that sub 9? Or,
and that's a 22 to hit.
All right, it
or
hits.
like a
You're
super
fine.
9.
And that one's gonna be 11 damage.
11 damage. Okay,
Nice.
so you swing
Holy
with your
bro.
magical blade twice into this thing, and you see as it passes through, it tears at its ghost presence. It is Valari's turn.
So I'm in the middle, so I feel like there's like the skeleton on the one side and the other guy on the stairs.
The other guy is just at the bottom of the stairs.
So do you think I'm like equidistant or I'm closer to the skeleton?
You're probably, because you were pushing forward, you're closer to the skeleton just by a little bit.
Okay. And
And Aster is at your feet.
the thunderstorm tells me that lightning isn't gonna do poop. And it's not dark in here because they've made all the light, right?
Why did the thunderstorm tell you the lightning's
That's
gonna?
what it told her. That's what it told her.
The
Just go with
thunderstorm-
it.
Well, because the thunderstorm started and the sky turned into the thing, and thunder comes from lightning. So,
Okay,
Logic.
logic.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yep.
What stinks is it's actually hurt more by lightning.
yeah, that would be annoying.
Yes.
But nobody's in front of me, right?
I'm engaged with the skeleton, but I don't know what side.
And
She's
he
on
is
the other side of it.
And I'm engaged with the ghost.
She's directly in front of the skeleton. It's got angles if you go to either side if you want to shoot in at it.
Or I guess skeleton's not accurate. The zombie.
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 Yes.
Zombie.
But yeah, there is a lot of light though, right?
There isn't a lot of light now.
No, because all
The-
the light they created is gone.
The light they created is still fairly dim.
I have
So-
a torch.
So
Oh,
it is.
if she has a torch, is it
Yeah.
still lit on your person?
I think
I
so.
have a torch.
I said I light my torches. We're going down the stairs.
They both
So
lit
you have
torches.
a
He
sword.
conjured fire.
You charged at it
With,
with your sword, correct?
Uh-huh.
And
Which
no
one?
shield. No shield out.
swords are
No
two-
shield.
Okay.
Okay.
Then you do have bright light on it. So it's
So
not
there's
dim
no
at him.
dim.
Sorry.
Boo. Okay. Well, that leaves me with an acidic chromatic orb.
Launch it.
Here it comes. Acid splash
If
in
the
the face.
Dice lets me. If
Make a
the-
dash.
Oh, plus I have +5 AC this round. I
You
don't choose it,
do.
right? It's the
You
first
do.
round.
It's the first round of battle.
It's only
yep.
the first round, so you got it right now.
So
If it attacks me.
If it goes for you, yep.
Yes.
But my Shadow Blade's just not worth it. Okay, it's okay. I'll do this.
What are you doing?
Oh no, not casting Chromatic Orb. Because that's a 9.
You just cast chromatic orb.
I know, but it's not doing
Oh,
anything.
I see what you're saying.
It's a 9. What level were you attempting to cast it at?
Well, I was going to do it at 3rd, but...
So you burn a 3rd level slot.
I understand how that works.
Okay.
You didn't need to explain that to me.
I just was asking. That's all.
Yep.
And then telling.
Fair question.
Salt in the wound is what you were
Sorry.
doing. Because you
But-
like it.
but-
you like it
But
when
no,
it doesn't
no.
hit.
Here's what it is. Here's what it is. I need you to roll a D100, please.
Well, I was going to do more stuff, but I'll roll both of them. It's fine. I'll roll that first.
Because it might help. I don't know. Let's see.
Unicorn.
No! See, okay,
Penguin
Penguin
Witch
Witch Doctor,
Doctor.
I have to clarify something. Our couch is super comfortable.
So she
So
would be the one.
He's not allowed to sleep on the couch. If anything, he's not getting any covers, and he's definitely getting a knee in the middle of the back in the middle of the night. That's what that is. That's how that's handled in this house. No, you definitely don't get to sleep on the couch. You're definitely.
I'm learning new rules.
It's an 87.
87.
Ooh, that sounds interesting.
I don't think so. I feel like it's something stupid, like my
You feel-
butterflies or some.
You
stupid
feel a rejuvenating energy pulse through your body, and it feels life-giving.
shit. Okay, that's nice.
Feels like what?
But
Life-giving.
But good thing that my firebolt was a bonus action with my
Metamagic?
my font of magic.
Okay.
Hang on, let me. Sorcerer please. I'm trying to see.
I think it's 2
No,
sorcery.
that's not font of magic. It is.
Quickened?
Yes.
Yes.
It's the meta magic. I was looking at the wrong list. I was trying to see how many points I was using. Yes, it is quickened. So I'm gonna just try to go for a firebolt. Cause I can't.
Get it.
No, I don't think so. It's a 17.
17 on...
You got hit.
It hits.
On who?
What? On the skeleton?
On the zombie thing? Yeah.
On
it
the
hits.
skeleton?
The zombie thing? Yeah, it hits.
Oh, okay. Well,
Hope so.
I would hope I hit with a.
I was gonna say.
what?
It changed his armor
What?
class.
What
hit
level
one
are
on the
we?
left
We're
hand. Can you
7,
just point
right?
that out?
Yeah.
We're level 7?
Yeah.
Cool, cool. So that's 2d10s.
Because it's caster level?
No, yeah,
Yeah.
because it's based on your.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cantrip, so
Yeah.
caster level.
So you quickened your first spell, and then you cantripped your second spell.
And the second spell is a 17. So.
17
a
to hit,
firebolt?
17 damage.
On
Firebolt.
2d10s? Holy cow! Get it!
It was
Yeah,
it
it's a 9 and an
9.
8.
Yeah. Yeah. I need to check the balance of those dice.
It's blacksmith.
Oh, wait,
it's the
it's
same
blacksmith
stuff they're
craft.
rolling with.
Blacksmith
You
rolls
can't
just what you need.
You can't check the balance on metal dice.
They are
I'm sure
beyond
there's a
our
way,
calculation.
but not.
It's a lot harder to do. So you shoot the firebolt at this creature, and it hits right into the hole where it was impaled, and you see it burn from the inside out, and it drops to a pile of dust. You get the kill
What? Well,
Yeah.
okay.
On the zombie?
on
Yeah.
the zombie.
Nice!
Astro was focused on the zombie and lets out a bark and hops and wags his tail as you had done good damage, and he doesn't have any mind of the other creature in the room.
Right, because he was focused on the front one.
Garth, it is your turn.
Yes. Penguin Witch Doctor points out how my gameplay went on Wednesday over on the DAT network, and it was awful. Which is why Penguin Witch Doctor.
This is normal for me,
It did give Nathan a few days to figure out how to weight his dice, so we'll see how that works.
Well, you weight it this way.
You put
play
a
Divination
magnet?
Wizard. No, you play a Divination Wizard, and then you decide to cast Melf's Minute Meteors.
Oh, God.
And you send 2 meteors flying towards... Garth's going to move into position to where he can hit the back of the Spectre, because it's a 5-foot radius area.
Okay.
So I'm going to make it so that it's not Lord Dracklin's space.
So you move up almost into a corner of the room that is towards the entrance. But yeah.
Wonderful. I'm splashing in some water because of the storm
because
size.
it is difficult terrain, you're not able to make it as far as you hope.
Yes. But I will still send 2 meteors. It's a let me check. I believe it's a dexterity save. And what's that? Spirits? He rolled a 2?
Twice?
Well,
Sorry,
I mean,
I'm just picturing a halfling running in like 6 inches of water, and it's like
Lifting his feet really
when
high.
we're running and it's like up to our knees. So he's like,
That's difficult
like,
terrain
and
for
it's
you.
so slow.
It takes the full 6 seconds.
Yeah.
But you can add your dexterity modifier, Spectre, if you need to that 2 that you rolled.
3! It's a 3!
Wonderful. In that case,
Gotta love portents for divination wizards.
yep. I will roll 4d6 as your damage because I sent 2 of them your way.
Ouch.
Get it!
It's fire damage. Oh, honey, can you see? Let me just bring this over here. Let me just bring it over
I
here.
see a 5 and a 5 and a 5 and a 2.
17 fire damage.
17.
Get it!
These,
Pound.
as you fire these minute meteors off, you chuckle to yourself as you remember back in your school days learning this spell that one of the boys tried teaching you Melf's Minute Meteors, which exploded in a popcorn spray when they exploded. This one you knew was perfect. And as you throw these meteors and they explode right behind the ghost, the presence and essence of the ghost absorbs much of the impact before it even gets to Lord Drackland, and you've put it in the right spot. So Lord Drackland is safe. You see the essence of this ghost shimmer, and it turns even more transparent than it was before, as you can see that you're tearing away at it. It is the ghost's turn, however, if that is the end of yours.
Because today's battle was brought to you by the
Yeah.
number 17.
Basically.
That is the end of my turn, yes.
All right. The ghost lunges forward at Lord Drackland.
I'm
And-
ready for it.
And as it attempts to almost engulf him, I need you to make a charisma saving throw, sir.
Oh,
Good thing
but
I
you're a
didn't.
warlock.
He's a warlock, though.
This
That'll
is as
be
good
better.
as you could possibly be.
It's not charming me, right?
It is not charming you. It is attempting right now to possess you.
Okay. Just making sure, because I have advantage against that. But I don't think I have advantage against possession. You said charisma?
Charisma saving throw.
I'm a very charismatic person,
You are.
but not with a 2.
Oh!
That was me.
That's a 6.
Wait,
That's what I rolled on my chromatic orb. Was it
take
2?
your good berry.
What do you mean?
I don't know, maybe it'll help.
I don't know.
It doesn't
Um,
help. It'll give me 1 hit point.
The ghost sinks into your person, and you feel it, and you are fully aware, but now you feel that you cannot control yourself at the moment. And
Excellent.
the ghost takes full control over Drackland.
I shout to Draklin, "It's okay, I'll burn him out of you."
Well, do we know though? Would
The
we
ghost,
know?
the ghost
Well,
sunk
what's
into
the
So
Draklin.
it went
is all you
into
see.
him?
Yep.
I
All the
was
rest of the
watching
group
for sure.
sees is whoever was watching that the ghost sunk into Draklin. Ari
But-
doesn't know. Valari.
I say
and
I wouldn't have known
Yeah.
though, right? Because had just been fighting the skeleton.
Rumiel watched it, and so did Garth.
And
so Rumiel
Astro
and Garth
wouldn't know either.
Astro doesn't know either.
Garth, did you shout at? Well, I don't know if you can talk. Never mind.
So right now, for the rest of you, on the metagame side, the ghost cannot be targeted at the moment, as the ghost is within Draklin.
I can be targeted.
Like this. No, not like. Okay, that came out wrong. Never mind.
I didn't even hear what you said. I'm really
I
disappointed.
didn't hear what you said either.
I said I like this, and then you laughed, and I was like, wait, no, that's not what I meant. Like, this is very intriguing and fascinating, and I don't know. Not that, like, yes, I get a reason to attack Draklin.
That is the ghost's turn. It is Ari's turn now.
For this.
So, Garth had said something about, I'll burn it. Don't worry, Draklin, I'll burn it out of you. Is that something that I then would have heard? I'm just trying to determine.
I don't think that was canon. It was just banter during game. So
I say
you
it wasn't his turn, so he
You
couldn't.
didn't hear it. You just heard the
Yeah.
explosions behind from
Okay.
the minute meteors.
I mean, I would probably turn around.
And you,
And note
last
that it's
you
gone.
understood there was a ghost towards the stairs, and you see that Rumiel is over there as he had attacked it.
And I see nothing else.
You see nothing else.
Okay, I'm gonna say
Or Draklin, sorry. Thank you.
Brianna. My little spider. is
Yep.
on I'm gonna say, be ready to cast web at anyone who tries to. No, that's metagaming. I mean, I think I'd be
Yeah.
like wary of like if we're not out of combat. Be ready to cast web at
An adversary.
an adversary. Yeah.
There
What?
you go.
Okay, do you know that we're not out of combat?
No,
You might not.
we
You-
don't know.
You're not quite sure because you don't have a clear picture if the ghost is still fighting with Draklin at the moment. So, as for all intents and purposes, you probably believe there's still a fight because you've not heard any like end of fight, like we did it, we got it, or
Yeah.
I mean,
So I'm gonna ready Brianna, and then I'm gonna ready an attack at anybody who comes against me.
all right.
And I guess that's my turn.
Perfect. Rumiel.
I'm guessing possession is not necessarily a condition.
No, it doesn't appear to be in my list here.
Okay, having my eye on it, especially after the zombie went down, he has disappeared into Draklin.
Yep.
I'm going to try to dispel magic.
Try to dispel magic. All right. You're gonna cast dispel magic.
On Lord Draklin, seeing like this kind of okay, dispel it.
You attempt to dispel magic. It hits Draklin and kind of like ricochets off as like a explosion of electrostatic shock, but it doesn't seem to do anything to remove the ghost or to Draklin at all. It just kind of bounces off of Draklin's body.
Well, dang it. That sucks as a third level spell slot.
Don't hit my
Yes.
cat book.
You're telling
Don't
me
hit
I
my
just
cat
burned
book.
one and now I don't have a guy.
It is now possessed Draklin's turn. Draklin, do you feel the ghost within you holding tight to its control? But you feel that you're holding enough back that it can't react the way you would. It fumbles around with the blade in hand and ends up just dropping it and reaches its hand out and rushes straight towards Rumiel as you had turned around and saw the rest of the group. and rushes straight towards Rumiel and gets a hand right on Rumiel and attempts to attack him.
Is this a grapple?
No, it's just its hand is outright and it's just
like...
grabbing at you. Just like it's just trying to claw at you almost. It decides to claw at you and gets a 16 to hit.
Misses.
So it claws at you and you lean back and it misses. Unfortunately,
Well,
Lord
what did you add to that, Jared?
Let's see here. I didn't add your stat block. Sorry.
I would have a
rolled
plus
11.
7 for that.
Oh, so it'd be,
So
it'd be
that'd be
18. It'd be 18.
Come again?
Well, actually, let me see.
That's
do-
an attack.
Plus 6 probably, because I'm not using my special weapon.
Yeah, let's see. This is a plus 5 on a melee weapon attack. So yeah, it'd be a plus 6. So it'd be a 17 total.
That'll tie.
That'll tie.
So
So
you
it does
would
hit. And it does necrotic damage
Oh gosh.
of
I have an idea.
14.
I know, but
You take 14
Laura
points
has
of
no
necrotic damage.
Copy that.
As the claw of Draklin hits, and you see ethereal like wisps come out of Draklin's eyes, knowing that he is full well possessed at this moment.
Oh, wait. I have my 5. Okay, so 38 plus 5 would be...
Valari, it is your turn.
Thank you
Okay.
for those temporary hit points.
So I'm turning around because I hear this noise and I see Jacqueline calling Rumiel.
Mhm.
Did I know there was a ghost?
You knew the
I knew the guy was
you
there.
knew the guy was there, and he's no longer. So you feel something is up.
Well, okay. So I'm
That's-
just
that's
trying
all.
to process what information I actually know.
Yep.
Okay, so there was a guy and there's not. It's
Yep.
still raining.
Mhm.
And water's coming into this room.
Yep.
And Draklin's attacking Rumiel.
Yep. That's exactly what's happening.
So
And my eyes look crazy, right, Jared?
Your eyes have this wispy glow to them, as
But I-
they're not yours.
but I wouldn't be able to see his eyes, right? Because they're like this, and I'm like
yeah,
this.
you might be able to if you look.
What side
but
was he? What side was Draklin on, and what side was Rumiel?
Draklin was coming from the stairs. Rumiel was in the center. You were kind of off to the side, so you'd have an angle at him. You'd see that there's a wispy glow coming from Draklin's eyes. So you'd have a little bit of a glow of at least one eye, because you'd stepped off to the side to fire around Ari.
But I still feel like I don't know everything about Draklin, so I
Yep.
just don't know,
Yeah.
like, what's happening. Because, like, I've only known
Definitely
him.
know I'm attacking him.
Right, like, but I've, like, only known you for, what, like, 4 days or something. So I don't know, like, what...
I am a little spiteful too.
I mean, he's never behaved in this way before. If a
But he
companion
just
attacks
punched.
a companion,
Yeah, and
Yeah,
my
but-
sword's not in my hand.
But I don't know who's possessed, is what I'm basically getting at.
Yeah,
Fair.
maybe not.
And
it could be me and he's coming after me.
assuming someone's possessed, because I know this guy's not. I just know there's someone missing.
Yes.
Those two are fighting.
Yes.
But also, how high is the water at this point?
Probably about ankle deep.
Okay,
it's
so
rushed in
not-
to make it tough to run through.
So not like a life-threatening
No,
situation.
it's definitely just tough to move in, and you hear it kind of draining out to the edges a little bit.
So I guess my first thought would be to try to at least separate those two, if that's an option. And I don't have any great way to do that. So I think what I would do as like the least amount of like physical damage is I have this like weird like like crappy quarterstaff I had picked up a while back. So I feel like I would try.
You're just gonna go like bonk him.
No, not bonk him. I'm gonna run around like and try to like smack the arms like in between them so that it like
Stop attacking my friend.
well they're both like yeah.
You guys are friends. Stop hitting each other.
Well, basically, I think in my mind, like, I don't think Valari's, like, I don't fully trust, obviously, anyone, but I trust Draklin less because I know him less. So I'm just going to try and, like, and his arms are probably going to be the ones that are hurt. So I'm just going to basically try to, like,
All right. Roll the
smack
attack.
his arms. Sorry, I know that was, like, a long, convoluted, like, thought process, but I had to.
External processing. I do.
Yeah, no, this is not going to go well. Because that's a 7.
Yeah, you swing and miss. You just
But,
like go right
like-
between the hands and Rumiel.
But, like, how? Because if he's, like, holding him...
He's not holding. He just
It
reached out
wasn't
and
a
clawed.
grapple. It was a.
Okay.
You reached out and clawed.
Yeah.
But so I ran forward and I did that, but I
Yep.
don't have any other...
No,
But wait,
you
it
barely
was-
made it up to him to get there. It does partially obscure Garth if he wants to continue casting meteors.
But I can't do anything else. Like, I can't step into the middle.
Between them?
Yeah.
No, they're engaged right on each other. So you're like right up next to Rumiel, essentially.
But I just swung the stick and it went between them.
Unfortunately, you're on a grid system. There's 2 holes filled in the grid, and you can't get between them.
Effing Animal Crossing grids. Okay.
You understand them now because of the game. We can discuss that later. It is Astro's turn, and he runs up next to you, and he's super confused, and he starts growling at Lord Draklin, but doesn't want to bite him, so he's like kind of chomping at him, like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah. I
Because
get that.
he knows you enough. And then it is now Garth's turn.
Garth is thinking to himself, well, I might have a way, but unfortunately, and you see the remaining spinning meteors just dissolve into steam as he gathers himself and says, I hope this works. Garth is going to focus all of himself to cast Mind Spike on the creature that entered Lord Draklin.
It can't
You
be
can't
targeted.
target it, unfortunately. You can target Lord Draklin. Lord Draklin is the only target in that space. Unless there is a caveat in Mind Spike.
I think my idea is that I'm going for the creature's essence. So if I'm attacking, and I don't know if this would still be attacking Lord Draklin, but if I'm attacking that creature, because just knowing that I was tracking it the whole time,
Ooh, that's tough.
But it's,
According to possession, this creature cannot be targeted by any attack, spell, or other effect except ones that do a few things.
sorry, it must be in this book.
Okay.
And because
look up Mind Spike and see if it does one of those things.
I'm pulling it up.
we're looking at Mind Spike, but I am going to say these things deal with undead because it's undead.
Okay, so it says you reach into the mind of one creature you see within range. The target must make a wisdom saving throw, taking 3d8 psychic damage on a failed save or half as much damage on a successful one.
So
and
I
then
think-
it goes on to that. So,
With that knowledge, I'll say with that knowledge, Garth would think to himself, Lord Draklin is possessed. If I attack Lord Draklin's mind, I attack this being.
yeah, and it says
I don't know if it'll
Yes.
work.
Yep.
I don't know
I
if
think
it'll
it makes
work,
sense.
But
Yeah.
that's the logic behind the move.
Yeah, you'll damage me, but I think that makes sense.
I agree.
So
with
he will do that,
Good thing you have a
and
good berry.
yeah, well, don't worry, we'll get you some good berries, baby. You'll be fine.
Just don't mess up the cat book.
You'll be
Just don't mess up the cat.
I also gave teammates healing potions at the beginning of
We'll start
meeting
with the good
them.
berries.
You know, just
that
reminding
I
in
do
case
it-
I
no, I
fail
do
in
have
battle.
somewhere. So
Hey, I didn't get any healing potions.
You weren't with us at that point. I don't even know who you are.
I don't even know who you are.
No.
I also can't say anything because I'm possessed.
Yeah.
yeah, Garth.
You're technically
As-
incapacitated.
Yeah.
there's
as
a battle
the-
raging inside of you now.
As the meteors stop spinning,
Mm-hmm.
Garth will cast Mind Spike and say, "He's been possessed," and aim towards Lord Draklin's mind.
So to clarify, he yelled he's been possessed.
Yep.
And he attacks, but I can't necessarily see who he's mind spiking. Correct?
I said
Correct.
I thought
but
you said Lord Dracklin's been possessed.
You said he's been possessed
Yeah,
and you attacked.
But you do notice as you get up to Lord Drackland, it is not Lord
is
Drackland.
it?
You notice.
Okay, I'm just making sure. I just need to know like what I actually see because I'm like really like particular.
So you bop Rumiel on the face next.
No, I just want to know so I know how I would actually.
I mean, Valari, if you
Sure.
think
Fair.
that you still don't know, you can always just hit both of them.
I know. Just
Rumiel walks out with a
whack,
broken
whack,
nose.
with the court staff in between them.
Whack, whack.
All right. So you cast Mind Spike.
Yes.
Kid.
Wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom
Wait.
saving throw, right?
What's that?
Uh-oh!
What's
You
that?
get it too.
Yeah, it's
You rolled a 2?
Thank you, sir. Click.
Good to
the
know.
the
Roll
red phone
buttons.
goes off.
Oh, wait.
If we ever change up our scenario to be something like the 40s, 50s, modern times-ish, that would have been a red phone moment. Bring, bring. Yes, sir. A 2? Yeah, all right, on it. Click.
Bless you.
That's a real thing.
Sorry, I'm getting out my good D8.
Oh, the good D8 comes out.
Because you take 3 of these as damage.
Ow!
Alright, 4 plus 6
And
plus 8!
18.
18.
18.
That's
Jared,
all.
Jared, are you using my hit points for this?
You do take 18 points of damage, so do
Okay.
mark that down.
Okay.
And you know that it hit well. Does Mind Spike do anything else after that?
So it does. Now, the creature... I now know the creature's location. It can't be invisible to me
Right, can't be hidden.
or be hidden to me.
All right. So at this moment, you do understand that Lord Drackland also is something else as well. It still doesn't make the creature targetable because it is within Lord Drackland. It is part of him. So you can't target that directly, but you know that there is a creature within him, a spirit.
Great.
All right. It is back to the top of the turn order, Ari, as Lord Drackland's turn shares the ghost's turn at the moment.
Copy.
Ari, you see a bit of a fight going on towards Lord Drackland, and it seems like people are wailing on him.
Yes, and I would have heard Garth yell.
Yep.
So I'll say, "All right, Brianna, cast web." At trap.
You will hit Rumiel first.
I will move to where have clear.
Okay, you can move a bit off to, if you're looking at the entrance of the cavern, off to the left side. Brianna's gonna have a very hard time still to hit. It'll be about half cover, so it makes the AC of her hitting web a bit harder. In order
Who's
to
around me? I just don't have a picture of
You're-
what.
I'm like.
So if you entered the room, what had happened is you ran all the way up into the middle. The
Yep.
fight is still happening down by the stairs. You
Yep.
have come off to essentially the left side of the entrance. Garth is off to the right side of the entrance. Rumiel is right up against Lord Drackland right now, and Valari is kind of right next to Rumiel with the puppo at her side.
So they're kind of boxed in.
So on the right side, if you're looking at the room, everyone's jammed in against Lord Drackland essentially, and you can make a kind of clear spot off to the left side. You do have an angle which will put Lord Drackland mildly obscured by Rumiel at the moment. So you're kind of shooting off to an edge of Lord Drackland.
Because Garth wasn't up near him, right? I'm sorry. I'm just picturing. I
No.
know Rumiel and Garth.
So Rumiel and Lord Drackland are engaged.
Drackland are face to face.
They're face to face. So
Yep.
you have essentially a shoulder of Rumiel in the way of a clear shot of Lord Drackland, because you can't move your full 30. You're in rough terrain, so you can only move 15.
The rain.
Valari's on the side that Garth shot, right?
Yeah,
This is the other side?
Valari's on the other side.
Yeah. With
Otherwise
the
you'd be in, like,
dog.
full cover.
If
Yeah.
Valari wasn't there, you might have more of a clear, but she's there, so you're going to the other side.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
it's still possible. He's saying it's still possible.
Okay.
it's still
It's still
possible. It just makes it
possible.
harder to
My
hit.
brain is.
Yeah.
There's
It's
a
hard to
mass of
imagine.
people, and you see about half of Lord Drackland blocked by Rumiel's shoulder as they're engaged, and that's really all that you have to worry about, and they're about 20-ish feet out from you. So essentially you're going to have to shoot over Rumiel's shoulder or along the side of him, which means Lord Drackland is in a little bit of cover. A fail.
So 20 feet away, I don't need to be close. I'm just is it not open space if I move
Because
a little
you
bit
would
around
come-
Rumiel?
You would
I
come.
think it's just a small room.
You also can't move too far because of the water.
Yeah.
Right,
So
so
you
I don't
can-
need to get close. I just need...
Yeah.
I'm just in the way.
It's
Yeah.
so
You have to go
you were
further
about
to get me out of the way.
in order to
Whatever.
get to him.
Brianna can cast
yeah.
web. It's
In order to
fine.
get to him, you had to come down and over. Because if you went way over, you still wouldn't get enough of an angle to get to him. He'd be in almost full cover at that point.
Okay.
So, you get a little bit of higher AC to hit. So I think that adds a +2 to AC for this. So please roll to hit.
You've been rolling Brianna. Do you want me to roll?
I can roll her. I've got her stat here. She got a 15 on the die with a +4. It does barely beat it, I think, unless you don't have your shield out, correct? Oh, it would have dropped. It does beat it. So Brianna does hit, and Webb clasps around Lord Drackland and ties him up, and his arms get wrapped next to him, and he's standing there immobile. Rumiel, it is your turn with an immobile Lord Drackland right in front of you, standing wrapped up.
Question?
Yep.
I technically just gave a verbal command. Would I be
Do you-
able to ready if the ghost comes out?
You
Ready
may.
in action?
You
since I
didn't take
moved?
an action, correct?
Okay, I'm just gonna ready. If I see the ghost come out, I will be prepared to swing.
Perfect. Prepared to swing, because you had your sword out.
Yeah.
Yep, perfect. Rumiel, your turn.
I was gonna smack him in the face.
You still can.
Yeah, I mean, the only way that I can think of to release this possession, I've tried a few different things to get it out. The only thing I can think of is dropping him to essentially 0 hit points, knowing that I can restore him. It's a bit risky, but essentially I feel like the only option I have is to just...
You
Cognitive
sound like
recalibration?
all the doctors
Exactly.
on Grey's Anatomy right now.
Don't hit my teeth.
Don't hit my teeth.
So-
if I can kill him, I can bring him back.
Let's
Strong-
kill him
I'm
so
gonna
we
be
can
like,
save him.
Well, okay. You know, it's
Wow.
pinata time.
Oh no. All right. What are you gonna do with this
wait,
pinata?
no. Instead, attack him with 8 wolves.
You have it. He has advantage because I'm webbed, right?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna have him be ripped to shreds.
Yeah.
Non-lethal damage.
You have advantage and can do damage. You can call this non-lethal if you wish. If you don't,
Oh yes, it's definitely
Okay,
non-lethal.
okay.
I don't think I'm gonna get that close to it. This one is 19. So you're-
Alex is like
Why
so
don't you roll
chill
damage on
right
each one
now.
individually?
yeah.
I'm just hitting him with the staff. This is 19 go.
19 hits.
Okay, well, he only gets a D8.
Really?
That's your wisdom, right?
Well, a D8, yeah, plus,
Yeah.
but it's not like I'm rolling 5
Is your-
D6s.
Is that with Shillelagh
Yeah,
too?
yeah.
Yeah,
No.
it just Shillelagh just makes it a D8. I could try and do produce flame, which would be 2 D8s, but I don't want to burn up the web.
Oh, I
That-
thought.
yeah.
Okay.
Shillelagh, I think the main thing is it allows you to use your wisdom modifier to attack with rather than strength.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exact. It doesn't ramp up with your level. But my D8 has rolled a 7, a 7, and now an 8.
So it's 8
How much
damage.
damage is that?
So he is taking 11 points of damage.
Okay, I'm not looking good.
No.
Is he
I'm
bloody?
not down, but I'm not looking good.
Are you swinging anymore? Or is that it?
That's the only thing I can do. That's
Okay.
my action.
Okay. Dang. It is possessed Lord Drackland's turn, and as the ghost within him realizes it can do nothing, it comes out next to Lord Drackland and attempts to possess Rumiel as the depossession as a bonus action. I need you to roll a charisma check, sir.
The
Hey,
decertification
this isn't a spell, right? This is an ability.
It's an ability, yeah.
Okay.
Am I close? Oh no. Okay.
You're not close enough to swing.
Not
now.
good. Is this a saving throw?
Yeah.
Charisma.
Okay. Ooh, not good at all.
It's a 20. No. Yes. I can use my nat 20 wherever I want, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
I mean, we haven't talked about the limitations.
We talked
but
about
because you called it, it's gone.
Right?
It could have been yours to use. It is a 20. It is gone from your possession.
I'm sick of this thing going away. I want to hit it without hurting my friends.
So it reaches out and tries to engulf Rumiel, and then just kind of bounces off, and the holy light kind of shines up around Rumiel briefly as
As Garth says, heck no, techno.
Garth's spiritual connection with your
Aberreen.
father. Yeah.
Yes, my holy father.
Yes. Your spiritual
Spoilers.
connection reaches out in that moment and saves Rumiel.
Bro.
It is now Valari's turn. Lord Drackland, you are not possessed any longer, but you are tied up by web. Valari, your turn.
Oh, okay.
what's frustrating is Valar just fought a ghost like literally yesterday, and she can't even think.
Well, it's
What
out, so you can
worked?
damage it with any of your spells if you wish.
In theory.
In theory, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The ghost.
And it's up close and personal.
Yeah.
Which means I should just do a melee attack. No, because a crossbow won't do crap to a ghost.
Technically, it can take some damage.
It'll do a little bit, so you're not
It
like
takes
totally
piercing
out.
damage.
It's got resistances on certain damages, but it does have immunity on others. You can swing at it. Others have swung at it.
I understand that. I just feel like a crossbow wouldn't be highly effective.
Just don't aim it at a friend as it goes through the ghost.
Which is nearly impossible right now.
Ah, I'm in webs.
It usually works. I might as well go with chromatic orb.
All right, so you're able to kind of reach
Blast in the
across. Because Lord Drackland is between you and the ghost, you can still just lean across where he's at and
So
just,
we're like this, and I'm
you-
like this.
You just like lean up next to Lord Drackland and breathe in his battered face now, and fire at the ghost right on the other side.
No. It's a 16.
It's a 16.
Yeah.
Hits.
Yeah, someone hit with an 11.
I
You're
hit
fine.
with an 11.
What kind of armor class
It's a ghost.
bad guys are you
No
giving
armor.
us?
I like the fact that it had low armor class, but it possessed somebody,
It
and
possessed
you nearly
Drac-
took him out. you
Yeah.
guys,
Complaining, we got-
I didn't do
splattered Lord
anything
Drackland.
to Lord Drackland. Let's be realistic.
I did.
You tried whacking my hands.
Or I probably did acid.
These beautiful manicured
Okay,
hands.
acid.
It's acid or lightning. There is no in between for me.
Right.
And since it was level 3, that's 6 d8s. 3, 4, 5 d8s.
5 d8s.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to roll them and see how big it is, or do you want to just?
Yeah.
Okay.
She could roll 5,
Look, I don't get good rolls very often.
and I want to see if I
And
want to see
as
if
we established on Thursday, d8s are my favorite
Okay.
dice. Random fact.
As Lindsay says, as we established on Thursday, Lindsay's been streaming dice making. She's been learning how to make dice, and so
Try.
that happens a couple times a week around noon to 1 PST, and it happens for 2 to 3 hours.
Depending on how I feel. 10, 14, 16, 18.
18 points of damage. You put your hand across and you blast this ghost into smithereens. It turns into a powder essence of
I
sorts.
never get the
And
kills,
goes away.
and I got both of them.
Oh, you got a couple kills in the past, but as it goes away, the rain stops and the water running down the stairs slows, and you do see light up the stairs as the clouds break as fast as they had appeared.
I knew he caused the
Thank
rain.
you for those scrolls. There was a lot of fun there.
Except
Garth
I
runs
didn't get
over.
to use mine.
Garth rolls over.
The plus
What was
5
yours?
TC.
Plus 5 to AC for the round.
Wow,
you didn't
hey.
get hit. You didn't get hit. So
Yeah.
you're good.
Garth runs over and pulls out Lord Dracklin's potion, and like even as he's still webbed, is like, "Here you go, friend. Here you go."
Okay.
Glug, glug, glug.
I go give him my good berry.
Jam a good berry in his mouth. He's still webbed up. You guys aren't
I
even
said I was
unwebbing
fine.
him.
You guys
I'll
realized
cut
we
the
had
web.
a healer,
I'm just standing there
Good
going.
berry's going
and
to
you're
the
like jamming your resources down his.
How many-
berry's
I-
gone in a day.
I
so.
imagine he's been knocked over and you guys are just like jamming things in his mouth.
I mean, did anyone?
How many hit healing was in the healing potion?
It was your healing potion.
I don't know what it was. A basic one, whatever that is.
Is that a D8 or a D4?
I think it was a D8. It was a greater healing potion.
Oh, okay.
Rolling my good D8 for you if you
How
want
did
it.
he get his?
Yeah,
healing
I want you
potion
to
if he
roll
was in
for me.
web?
Because
I
he
trust
handed it
you,
to a few
Nathan.
people. Ari
Hey,
had
that's
one
five.
in the healing potion.
Okay.
So
Okay.
5, you get
You have one from the good berry that
So
I
you get
gave
six
you.
I'm gonna eat my
back.
good berry too.
Okay.
7
And I
back.
cut the web off since I put it.
Okay, so with those 7 hit points, I am now at 9 hit points. Thanks, team.
It's funny because the ghost had 2 hit points as well.
One of my dice was a 2.
Seeing him partially recovered, I'm going to conjure a turtle between him and I. And we're just
Healing magic.
gonna stand there for a good bit.
Oh, I'll kind of jump back, be like, what? What's this turtle?
Come on, come on,
It's
come on,
good
come on.
for you.
Like glowing ethereal turtle. It's like blue and like all.
I have to see how I feel about this turtle, and I'll open my cat book.
A small calico kitten sits there and leans over
Okay,
and purrs.
fine.
And
Then I'll walk
looks-
into the turtle healing field.
Okay. So
Half
we get
of
a,
Jared's DM prep has been just researching cats.
A Bengal tiger appears and slashes at you.
Okay, so we get a D6 for every 6 seconds. It'll last for a minute.
So roll 10d6.
So I'll roll 10.
Thanks for the follow, Zing Zong.
If anybody else wants it, y'all know what it is. So if anyone else needs it, come on in. Alex?
Yeah.
It's my spell. I'll roll
It's
it.
my
Oh, you
spell.
roll it?
I
Okay.
roll it.
Excellent.
No problem. But just
I thought you were rolling for yourself.
so the first 2 is a 6 and a 3, so 9. So that's now been 12 seconds. So that's 2 out of 10. This will be 4 out of 10. Is 6.
So 17 total.
6 out of 10. Ooh, that's only 3.
20 total.
8 out of 10 is 10.
So 30 total.
And 10 out of 10
I'm good to go.
I'm good to
is
go.
7.
37 points of healing.
I'm gonna say, if you have more than 37 points needing of healing,
The ghost comes back to No.
No!
The ghost comes back to life?
back to death.
Back to
Does the
undeath.
weather change? Do
Um,
you see anything?
As the water dissipates, you do turn around and see that where the zombie had been impaled, the spike is mostly receded into the floor, but you notice the line that there's sharp, pointy spike tips up across that entire line to protect the gold floor.
But where did the water go, though?
There were some edges that it kind of drained into.
How come I didn't see those before?
It was minor for the situation. It's situational gutters.
Yeah.
The gutters have.
It's called a plot device.
Yes. There was a manhole cover that gets replaced and then it turns back into stone. There was a shop vac that appeared, an ethereal shop vac. It cleaned out the corners.
That's a big old shop vac.
Yeah.
If we look around the walls, is there anywhere to like de-trigger the trap?
No,
Well, it
this.
looks like
I
the
didn't
trap's
see
already
anything before.
Possibly been sprung.
I think it's been unsprung again.
Or...
Oh, the trap has gone back down?
Yeah, so now there's spikes around.
There's tips of spikes now on that little lip that had been seen before. The trap is like mildly, visibly up.
And
it's
the
not
spike
triggered
is
per se,
gone.
but it's like it's a weak trigger now, so
And-
it won't take much to set it off.
Well, there is a way to possibly trigger it.
I could throw my bedroll again.
I was say, if anybody can cast Mage Hand and put 10 pounds of pressure on...
Oh yeah,
I
cast
cast-
Mage Hand, and I want to test first if
the gold floor.
Flying over.
if flying over it does anything.
Yeah, as you cross the plane where the spikes are at, immediately spikes shoot up in the space of the mage hand, and as soon as the hand passes through, the spikes recede, and still show a little bit of the tip at the floor.
Well, can anybody teleport?
Sort of. Why?
Do we? My question is,
Do we need back there?
it's a gold floor. How are we gonna pull it up?
Plus, it's
Is
only
there,
a circle,
is there a
though,
doorway
right?
behind it?
We don't need to
No,
pull it
it's-
up. I'm just assuming
It's all
that...
the way across now?
So the entire floor is golden. The water that had rushed across now had cleaned it. It is a solid gold floor, made of golden bricks placed in. You could attempt to pull them out, but there's no
There's no-
floors, there's no doors, no passage behind it. It's just a part of the crypt that holds monies, essentially.
So this
Should we-
isn't even what we were here for.
You need the well. Did that coin lie to us?
I really quick go investigate the sarcophaguses on the right side.
All right, as you look in, you notice that most of them seem as if they had never been used. A few of them even seem to be fairly weakened, as if they were never meant to be used. It was almost as if this was just a false front to the gold flooring in the back.
Very interesting.
Didn't earlier you say it looked like all the stuff had been removed, though? And that they were emptied out, and so there weren't...
On the
Even,
flooring, it looked like there was stuff that was removed. There was some wear in some of the sarcophaguses, or sarcophagi, but there doesn't seem to have been like body usage. But it looks like there was stuff stored in and moved out, almost as if it was more of like item storage.
And what we're calling sarcophagi are the tomb spots.
The tomb holes in the wall. Yeah, there's nothing freestanding.
Okay, I think I was like really confused.
But yeah, the tombs embedded in the walls.
How high did the spikes go?
Did
Did they go to the ceiling?
They went about 6.5, 7 feet. The room stands about 10 feet tall.
Okay, I'm just gonna cast fly on myself, and I'm gonna fly above where the spikes went.
Yep.
Over the line.
As you fly over the line, the spikes come up at you, and they're a few inches to a foot below, and a few of them catch your cloak as you go through and leave some tears in it. But you're able to make it to the other side, and nothing seems to trigger on the other side.
Okay, if I'll like search all the walls with my hands, just make sure there's no secret doors or anything like that.
On this side, no secret doors seem to appear as you're searching. If you wish to roll to see if you get anything better, you may, but it's an incredibly smooth wall all the way across.
Okay,
Try to
what would I be
look in
rolling?
the right corner.
You can roll investigation. You could roll perception.
Yeah.
Investigation
well-
probably best.
I'll roll. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Investigation. I'll roll perception.
All right.
13.
13. As you look across the walls again, it's incredibly smooth, as if it was carved by the finest dwarven rock cutters and placed together by the finest elven architects. You've never seen anything as beautiful as this, including in your own home that you'd come from.
Oh, so I'll say that to the group. And there's nothing, if I search the ground, like check it out, there's nothing
the
of
ground,
significance, right?
The golden bricks are almost as finely placed as the walls. You do see a couple dents in a few of the gold pieces, as if someone had attempted to work on them. They are again placed together so nicely that they just dented as they were trying to get in, as gold is more malleable.
Okay.
I want to use my gourd to get to that side as well.
You can only use it once.
No, it's three times.
Three times.
Three times.
Okay.
The coin is
the coin
once.
is once. Yes, sorry, I'm trying to keep track of everyone's.
All good.
So you shake and you get to the other side, and you're left with a slight queasiness, as it wasn't a very great teleport.
Well, yeah, but I didn't use the spell slot. I'm gonna go to the right corner, like in the side wall, in that wall. Is there anything like peculiar about the gutter?
No, it's just a fine little gutter that kind of drips off the edges. There's a maybe half-inch slat that goes down into the dirt below. Draculin's playing magical light effects over there.
And
I'll kind of be like, it's a little crowded over here now, and I'll fly back up over the spikes back to where the group is.
All right.
Well, if we're gonna listen to the coin, it says we have to go this way, so that's why I came to look in the corner.
Maybe we had to come in here and defeat something and then go behind or go to the right outside? If we're not seeing anything, I think it's worth at least checking outside.
I'm gonna like pull out some of the bricks along the gutter and see if I can.
Give me a strength check.
Well, that's a 20 on the dice. Plus a 1. So 21.
You're able to only get one single brick loose, which totals to about 100 gold coins worth of golden weight.
Yeah.
That's all you can pull up. You can't loosen anything else. So you
Yeah.
have one golden brick. Nothing is below it other than yet another layer of golden bricks laid the other way.
Let's go outside.
Well, what's weird is underneath this layer of bricks, you guys, is another layer of gold bricks.
If I may, I understand this is very odd. My one thought is, the forest tries to make friends with you. It wants you to stay here. It wants you to try to pull up every single golden brick. It wants you to seek the riches. But
We have a mission.
Well, I'm not seeking the riches. The goal of doing that wasn't to get a gold brick. You guys know that, right? Like I was following the coin that we flipped.
We also didn't really know what the coin did.
No, I know, but
we assumed it answered our question. Oh, I guess we have to ask a question. We did know that.
But we don't know why it pointed two different places.
I know. I like pointed that out earlier. I just was like testing the possibility, and then this is
of course.
I get that, but we're just finding gold, and we haven't found a well. So it seems like maybe it'd be good to try something else.
All right.
So I'm gonna go up the stairs and go to the right of the entrance just to see what I see up there.
As you go up the stairs,
I'll follow just for protection.
Yeah, as you go up the stairs and you look out, the bricks that were inlaid out front are now a grass bit. It's a completely different area outside of the crypt than you'd expect. It's mildly open, and straight ahead there's a circular stone inlay. In the center, it seems like there's a small geyser, but the water as it falls back down doesn't seem to wet the ground.
Guys, we found it! I'm just gonna call back down to them and then go closer to get a better look.
I'm gonna shake the gourd, but as I'm walking out, I'm gonna say, you guys realize that gold will melt when it's heated. So if you really did want any, you could just melt the gold and take some. And I put the brick in my bag because I have it. I might as well.
Definitely keep that.
Yeah.
Yes, I understand.
Just saying.
Garth.
All right.
Stairs.
As you all start making your way up the stairs, you see the same thing that Ari and Rumiel had just seen. And as you get closer, you notice that this fountain, or this geyser, sprays up about 15, 20 feet. It's mildly more open above. The trees seem to give an unnatural canopy, however, still blocking out the sky above. And you are all able to make it to the edge of this stone and stare at it. The stone from the edge to the center is about 25 feet to where the geyser is spraying out. And from there you can see that the stone everywhere on this circle is not getting wet at all by the geyser, even though the water comes back to the stone and almost sinks right back in.
So what do we think? Do we open it or do we just put the whole vial in there?
It is a fountain. It is a well. Are there any sigils or markings on any of the stone?
There are no sigils or markings, but you do see that on the far side there's a couple small root mounds that seem to come up out of the stone in random places, as if like the trees are trying to almost grow up into this area.
Interesting.
Okay, so the stone seems to be blocking them off?
The stone seems to be on top of these roots that are growing up through it.
Yeah.
But
okay.
it's like this circular pedestal almost of stone that lifts up just a little bit above the normal ground and has the geyser in the center.
Almost like a well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think sure it. I don't want to take it out.
Let's just toss it in. See what happens. We could take it out if it doesn't work, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I go.
I've always mage hand it in.
Yeah, I'll do that.
as you take the mage hand and grasp the vial shakes a little bit in the mage hand, and as you move it towards the fountain in the center, the fountain moves away from the vial a little bit. It almost tries to avoid the metal of the vial and doesn't seem to accept, and you push the mage hand through and back, and it parts around the mage hand each time, almost as if you do have to open the vial to do what you wish.
Laura, you want to use another mage hand to open it while it's by the geyser?
I mean, I can. I don't see why you can't just pour it in. But so I cast a mage hand and.
Again, I think I'm just not picturing this well enough. Sorry.
It's already out there, so.
Yeah.
So it's this geyser of water that spreads around your mage hand, essentially.
Because you stuck your hand in
That
the
I'm picturing. I'm not picturing the well. I pictured it as bigger. I'm almost personally picturing it as like one of those things at a mall where it's like the stone and there's just
there's water shooting out of it. Yep, that's essentially what you're saying.
Yeah, no, I don't get it
cool.
as a well either, but
Yeah.
I think.
I just figured the farther we can stay away from this thing, the better.
Mm-hmm.
It's done terrible destruction.
Yes.
Cool. So as you go to open this vial, you notice that when you open it, sitting within, as soon as you open, a bright red wisp joins into the mist of this fountain, and as it goes, it sprays up and hits the ground just like the other bit of water that you see. But as you pay more mind, because it sprays out bigger and bigger, you notice that as it sprays and hits the very edges near where you're standing, that the water is less like water when it hits and looks more like remnants of beings, more like soul fragments. You see various creatures in these stretched out pieces of soul that kind of land near you, and the red that sprays through it turns less and less vibrant until it turns back to this very clear color, or this very clear tonality of the rest of it, and you believe that this well has now absorbed the Dragon King. And now you're in the middle of this wandering wood, and you have completed the mission mostly, but now you have to get out alive, and this is where we end our session.
Oh man!
Oh man, just 3 more hours, Mom!
Right?
Cool. Thank you everyone for tuning in, for sharing, for donating, for liking, subscribing, following, and all of the other things you can interact with us with. Just a reminder, in 2 weeks we will have an episode. It will not be the main storyline, but it'll be a nice little filler as we get an extra week to the month. Instead of 4 weeks for the month, we get 5. And then our season finale, provided the players don't die in it, we have to revitalize them and whatnot, will be June 6th. June 6th is this story arc's finale planned. So we hope to see you there. Just a couple side notes. If you haven't followed our Instagram, we will be doing an Instagram t-shirt giveaway or tank top. Anything that is available on our merch link, the merch link below, we are going to give one of those away in your choice of size and style. As I fully understand it now, it should be open globally, as the supplier that we've worked with does have global printing. So feel free to enter, and if we can't get it globally, we'll get it shipped to you. Because we love our fans and we love all of the interactions that you give us. And then also on June 6th, we will be doing a giveaway on the stream itself. So please tune in and at least interact with us briefly to enter. You don't have to be present to win. And that is it. Have a good night. Thank you for sticking with us, and we will see you again in 2 weeks.
Bye.